Welcome in to this edition MPW Digital Postgame Show here with you this evening. Ole Miss and LSU. The Rebels win 24-19 over the Tigers at Ball Stadium this afternoon. They moved to 5-0 overall, head into a bye week, making for really several good weeks for you Rebel fans because they play Washington State next, and that's going to be a dub. So 6-0 on deck prior to heading to Athens here in a few weeks. A lot of stuff to get to today as Ole Miss shook off a little bit of a slow start offensively, but then went up by 10 at halftime, put together kind of some man-sized drives there late to put it away, and fought off LSU, putting together a pretty good drive on the last time they got the ball. So a ton to get to here today, and we're here brought to you by Realtree. Realtree.com is the place to go. Not just hunting gear, but lifestyle gear and ways to, help the Rebels. They help the Rebels, and they can help you as well. Realtree.com, plenty of lids, plenty of fishing gear, plenty of outerwear, and yes, plenty of camo for those who need that also. So again, we'll be giving stuff away here later tonight. Been giving stuff away every single week. One of our winners just sent me an email a few minutes ago. Again, that is Realtree.com. Guys, I thought that especially in key situations, Ole Miss offensively put on a bit of a masterclass from a coaching standpoint. Pete Golding's defense, even with that three-man rush, really controlled the line of scrimmage. Ole Miss kind of controlled the line of scrimmage on both ways. I mean, if you look at this from a sheer stat standpoint, Ole Miss dominated the football game. Tyler, just give me kind of some brief thoughts here, and I'll go over some stats in a few minutes.
Yeah, I thought kind of what I said during the week. I said if you told me Ole Miss won this game, I think the defensive line making Nussmeier uncomfortable was key to it, and they did. They got after his ass. They collapsed the pocket. Even when they didn't get home, they affected the game. They affected him. He did not have his best stuff today anyway. It was very evident early he didn't have his best stuff, and that kind of compounded it, and he just was never comfortable, and even when he was comfortable, he wasn't delivering it where it needed to be and all that stuff. So that definitely helped. Also, I thought three big plays in the game. I thought Trinidad Chambliss extended drives and with his feet three times. I think maybe more than that. I know I counted three on third down, forcing them like we talked about yesterday in the live I did yesterday is. Got them in one high, got their back turned to the quarterback, and he was able to step up. They speed rushed the edges. It was a clean escape up top, and he was able to climb the pocket and get out and get 3 first downs, which was critical. Thought that on the last drive, I thought Lacey. I still think Lacey's a north-south guy. I think it's his weakness when he's going laterally. But man, when he gets his shoulders, parallel to the line of scrimmage, he can really roll. I thought he ran hard, particularly last drive. I thought they closed the game out. I thought they did a good job closing the game out.
Got it and with then, 5 left and put it away. Yeah.
I thought they did a great job closing the game out on offense. And, Lane had really big nuts going forward on fourth down, the last one. And, it was one of those – that last one was one of those that, like, if he doesn't get it, opens himself up, And,
but it's a 53-yard kick.
No, I'm with you. I agree. I'm go, man. I think punting's for quitters, personally. You know what I mean? I think punting's for quitters. So I'm good. He does. I'm all good about going for it, right? But I thought that was a great play call. And then on the touchdown at the end of the first half, LSU was completely dumbfounded. They only had 2 guys. They only had 2 guys over there. Guy went in motion. I don't know if there was a confusion on the coverage or what the deal was, but they didn't roll over the top of coverage. And what we had there was a failure to communicate. We had 2 guys playing man and 1 guy playing zone. That usually doesn't bode out well for you. But hey, really, really, really big win for Ole Miss. I think, like I said earlier in the week too, I think it changes the calculus a little bit, or a lot of bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll go a little more macro. Jeffrey, I wrote this a minute ago, and it's a crazy sentence, but I believe it, that Ole Miss showed a lot of poise in the first half, despite the fact that they had like 1,000 penalties and a red zone turnover. I mean, the way you traditionally think about that was not necessarily the case, but they were lost on offense during the scripted part of the first couple drives there. Chambliss looked like he was seeing some ghosts. The game was moving really fast. Obviously, LSU has so much more speed defensively than what he had seen to that point, and yet they calmed down. They put some drives together. That roughing the passer penalty that set up that late touchdown really kind of gave them a little bit of breath there to get going there on that series. I thought offensively, while it wasn't the perfect first half, they throw for almost 200 yards. They get a little thing going, and they fought off that early malaise that, if you don't have a little bit of poise about you, could really kind of sunk you a little bit right there.
Yeah, to me tonight was the ultimate example of situational football. And, the more that we talk of the spreading out of the talent and how this is more becoming diet NFL, the more the things that end up deciding games in the NFL are the things that are going to decide games in college. Look at what they did at the end of the half. Like, they used the clock perfectly. And not only did they come away with points, they came away with a touchdown at the end of the half. And you look at third downs today, Ole Miss goes 8 of 17. They were much better on third downs. And then you kind of think about, how they managed the end of the game. Really, I thought the only kind of situational mistake that was made, and you kind of understand it because he was running for his life and he was trying to make a play, but Chambliss going out of bounds on third down to me was the only really situational blunder that they had, because, I just thought that every time they had a chance to kind of make the play that it felt like was going to swing the game in their favor. If you're playing it like a math problem and you're going, okay, if they score here, it changes the outcomes for Ole Miss. And it felt like on all of the really critical plays, Ole Miss ends up making the play, and that's why we're sitting here talking about a win.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. All the critical stuff. I guess that's what I meant, because I talked about, felt like Ole Miss just simply outcoached LSU. It's because of that. They had such good scheme there in those critical situations at different times, and again, just kind of dominated the game. LSU came into it.
I would like to add, though, I do think part of the out coaching, and Tyler, see if you agree with it. It's a lot easier to coach when you have more faith that your team can block than the other team does.
Yeah, what do we mean about outcoach? Like, what did you see that?
I just thought that they, I thought from a scheme standpoint and just selections or maybe even execution. I don't know. You tell me. But in those, the winning downs, when you talk about what you said, fourth downs and some of those things, it seemed like they were able to get into situations that gave them numbers that were able to pull that off. Maybe I'm crazy.
I don't know if I could call it out coaching. I think Ole Miss beat them in every critical situation. I don't know if scheme had anything to do with that. Ole Miss's players made plays. I don't know. I know this is one of those things that coaching is a little bit overrated when it comes to those plays. When the game's on the line, it's about players. It's not about plays.
Well, I mean, and also it's like there's some stuff that I don't know, because I'm with Tyler, that they tried to set it up on the broadcast as like it was a rub route. And I'm with Tyler. It's like they had two guys over there, and there were three receivers. So somebody was going to be open. Like I don't know if that's necessarily scheme. There's clearly there was
the corner didn't go over in motion, and you had two guys playing man coverage, and the guy
playing looking into the back. Yeah,
if he doesn't run, the only guy left over there is Jesus.
Correct, and. Jesus did not take the wheel on that one. He decided he was going to give us free will on that.
He literally did not take the wheel. That was why he was open. Exactly.
Yes.
Look at stats a little bit. Garrett Nussmeier, 21 of 34, 197, a touchdown, and an interception. Wyatt Williams picks off the ball for the Rebels. And, he throws for 197. He has to throw it 34 times. And 38 of those came on the one play there on the very first series when they threw kind of that loop pass down the middle. He had a little bit of a pick there. I was talking to Siski in the middle of the play right after that. Said the corner got beat, safety trying to catch up there with Williams on that play. So Nussmeier definitely didn't beat him in their arm. And you don't hear this out of hometown radio broadcasts, and it ended up being prophetic because LSU hasn't run on anybody. They didn't run on Southeastern, Louisiana Tech. Today, 22 carries for the Tigers, 57 yards. They get a touchdown, but only averaged 2.6. I was doing the pregame show with the LSU radio network before the game, and Hunt Palmer, he said LSU is not going to be able to run the football. Nussmeier's got to throw this some 40-something times. You just don't usually hear that from your local hometown town group, but it was very correct. And is that change? I'm not taking anything away from Ole Miss's win here, but it's my one question. Is this changing LSU's season to somewhat, or what do we expect? Because they simply can't run the damn thing. Ole Miss dominated this thing with a 3-front all day.
I don't know, man. I don't want to take anything away from Ole Miss, man. I thought Ole Miss played really, really well. I mean, you can't. I don't know. I just it's a really big win for Ole Miss, and LSU hasn't been able to run the football all year, but you still have to make the plays. You know what I mean? Like you still got to try to stop. You know, you can't just go, well, they can't run the ball. Let me play 110 defense here. I mean, that's not how. It's not a video game. So I don't want to take anything away from Ole Miss. I thought it was a really, really big win for them at home, and you know, I thought they played well regardless of how well LSU's been doing running the ball. I thought they played well.
The fourth largest crowd in Ole Miss history today, from an attendance standpoint, 16th all-time top 5 win for Ole Miss, 6th at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium, 4th time the Rebels have scored a top 5 win in consecutive seasons. The first in 2014 and 2015. Alabama drops a touchdown pass, is what I think Siski is reacting to there in real time. Ole Miss's 4th top 5 win all time against LSU. They got 3 others of those, and again, first 5-0 start since 2022 when they were 7-0. But 6-0 feels very likely. Again, bye week and then Washington State. Again, we'll get to that in a minute because I do think the calculus very, very, very changed from what Ole Miss is doing the rest of the season. Trinidad Chambliss, 23 of 39, 314, touchdown, a pick. Kewan Lacey, pretty workmanlike here, 23 for 87, but I thought he ran damn hard today. Chambliss adds 14 for 71. Diggs gets 8, including a 6-yard touchdown, and then they didn't get much at all out of the Deuce Alexander, 3 carries, 4 yards. Hard to get the edge on the Tigers on those sweeps. Caden Lee has the big fumble, but ends up leading the Rebels 4 catches, 70 yards. Daquan Wright had a huge day as far as situationally, 4 catches, 66 yards. And then Alexander, 3 catches for 64. They also played Winston Watkins a good bit today, and he turned 4 targets into 3 catches and 38 yards. Jump into some super chats real quick. Daniel, thank you, says LFG. Strib, let's see, Jay Robertson, got a hottie toddy for my buddy in Dubuque. They were tuned in for this one. Joe P said then he gets some Navy shirts. Hey, we'll wear Navy shirts. We love the armed forces. It doesn't have to, we get a lot of Army from our boy that we appreciate there, but we'd wear Navy as well. Sammy, great win. Congratulations. Fun with the 2024 team. Had the 2025 OL. What other home wins has Lane had against the top 5 team? Can't remember. Enjoy the next 2 weeks. Let's see. Yeah, Joe P's in London, so he's not staying long because he's in London. It's late, but made sure the bar was playing college football. Watched the game full of OSU fans, but they knew hotty toddy by the end. So appreciate all of you guys. Just in general, Siski, what you think of Chambliss today?
I thought he started off shaky. He didn't have his A game with his arm today. He missed a lot of throws that he hasn't been missing. So he just didn't have his. You know, it's like a pitcher doesn't have your best stuff. But the thing that you got to give him credit for is he made his mistakes didn't beat you. You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to actually play through it, and I thought he played really well considering. You know, a quarterback, it's tough, man. Guys don't have their A game, and you know it. And it's kind of like I said, it's like a pitcher. And then he kind of settled down and found a way, and they helped him with you know, keeping it, getting his confidence back, building him up with some free access throws. And, you know, I think his feet being able to extend those drives ended up making a huge difference in the game. Again, you're playing kind of butterfly effect afterwards, but I still think, you know, him being able to do that and extend drives, I thought he played, you know, really well. That was a good defense they played today. You know,
I want to give full marks to the receivers. I thought the receivers played their ass off today because, to Tyler's point, those are some damn good DBs, and they were making a lot of one-on-one plays. I'm not saying they made everyone, but they made a lot of them, and I think they deserve full marks.
Yeah, I think I think they have a really, really good wide receiver group, like really good. And so, you know, 2's good. You know, I like 11, and you know, I think they as a group they're really deep, top to bottom. They got a lot of guys that can make plays.
8 was huge today. It's tight end. I mean, just kind of a right place, right time.
Guys,
he made one like he put one on his back hip. Yeah, Chambliss put one on his back hip.
Yeah.
We're playmakers. I don't understand why everyone's so surprised. Rights are playmakers.
Your cousin.
Oh yeah. I did. I was taking a second trying to figure it out, the connection there, and CTE on me right there. I was looking at you like, Jeffrey, what's up, man? Come on. It took me a second. But no, that he made the. I can't remember. It was late in the game, third quarter maybe. But he made a play on third down. I think it was balls on his back hip, and but yeah, I thought that was really, he did a really good job. He's a tough guy to bring down too. So guess that's what happens when you're 6'4", 250.
Yeah, it seems to help a little bit. That's not bad. From what we have on right now, we got obviously the big two games going on: Oregon and Penn State, and then Georgia and Alabama. Also, Tennessee, Mississippi State did the overtime. Josh Heupel coming from the Les Miles School of Clock Management a little bit there at the end of regulation, burning some time off the clock, couple timeouts left, but they are headed to overtime. State has played really hard today. They've played a hell of a football game. I give them credit. I thought it's been a pretty cool environment and a pretty good game there today.
I'm just glad
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
I was just glad the over hit. That's all I cared about.
Is it over now? Okay, yeah.
Well, whatever. I had it 62.5. That's all I cared
about. Yeah. Tennessee didn't score but one offensive touchdown until the very end of the game. They had a pick six and a scoop and score on a fumble. And I think they're talking about they may be the most improved unit, I guess, overall in the whole deal is Mississippi State's defense from last year to this year. Because they couldn't stop a nosebleed last year.
What do you want to say?
I think you could just say the most improved everything is Mississippi State because they didn't look let alone an SEC team. They didn't look like a G5 team. Like their bodies were horrible. Now, they actually look like a football team.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I had a buddy just text me. He said Ryan Williams would have caught that if it was a stuffed animal.
That's true.
I've never seen you laugh before.
A stuffy, please. An emotional support stuffy.
Oh, that's good.
Sorry, we got kid and dog situation a little bit. Go.
I need.
Okay. You got it. Thank you. Yeah, what is Matt doing right now? I guess is Moscona doing a show, guys? I don't even know what he's doing. I will say this, y'all can go hammer him and whatever, you have fun. He was setting up though, and Jeffrey probably does some version of this. Matt was setting up a week of radio, is what he was doing. Because if LSU wins, he gets to crow that he was right. He gets to talk about playoffs and all that stuff. If they lose, he blames Brian Kelly for having a more expensive, better roster and losing the game, and he gets to go the anti-Kelly route. It was completely radio based with Moscona last week.
I think I'd probably be better in radio if I schemed up like that. But my move has always been I do tell you what I actually think. I'm really not. I am not.
It's a novel concept, isn't it?
I could be wrong. I don't sit there and demand that I'm right, but I do tell you what I actually think rather than. But I do agree. Having consumed Matt's work, I'm gonna guess Matt knows that with this year it is a very delicate year for Brian Kelly. So you might as well go all in because either you're right or you sit there and go, what the hell are we doing here?
Disky, tell me about Ken Williamson. I know you've got a long history. You love his crew.
Did you
the
enjoy all
way
the
he
time
calls
he
games
today?
and things. Ole Miss gets flagged.
I didn't bring that up. That
today.
to me, I didn't want to bring that up, but and look, that's the thing. I mean, I know everybody's gonna kind of forget about it a little bit because Ole Miss won all that. Dude, something's got. I mean, come on, SEC, and it's not, and it's a couple of them. That was a great college football game, and it was literally damn near unwatchable because of all the damn penalties. And the SEC for freaking 1,000 years has let the players play. And it wasn't just this one. It's literally everybody that's ever been in the Sun Belt, which seems to be half of the freaking SEC now. I looked up and watched the Auburn Texas A&M game. I was like, oh, there's another one, like the White Hat. I was like, his crew too. They are calling penalties behind the play. Note to self, when you're blocking a guy like this and you got your hands inside and the offensive player runs by said block, the corner or linebacker is going to turn and run, and it's going to look like you're holding them. If it didn't happen at the point of attack, you got to let them play, man. It's just it's bad on both sides. And then they don't call. And hell, I'm with Ole Miss fans on this one. At the very end of the game, they don't call a damn hold on LSU. I mean, like atrocious. I'm talking about like at the point of attack. It was our boy 3 does a full. I mean, he gets pirouetted around like a freaking ballerina on ice skates, and they don't call anything. It's just I don't know, man. I'd rather just let them play and call the really egregious stuff like the SEC's done for I don't know the better part of fucking 3 decades.
Yeah,
you got to also remember though, guys. Today we should have had our heads on a swivel. Today was going to be a terrible ref day because they're also going to be one crew short because obviously the Oklahoma Auburn crew got suspended. So they were going to be bringing up another crew. So like, because the crew that they had at Auburn, Oklahoma is supposed to be one of their better crews. And so I'm with Tyler. Like I did feel like, I felt like the reason why Ole Miss didn't put the game away sooner was because they fumbled and threw the interception. But I did think the officiating just made the game just like exhausting. Like there was a sequence where it's like 12 seconds of clock ran off and it was like 10 minutes of real time. I mean, how about the extra point where Kelly does like there was an offsides? Like I couldn't tell if like everyone was just trying to get too cute. It's like, what are we doing here? Like they kicked the extra point. Let's move on. Can we not do that? I just had no idea what was going on.
On that one right there, okay, Ole Miss, that was when it went 6-0, right? Was that 6-0?
Yeah.
I went downstairs. I was like, okay, they're going to kick the extra point. I'm going to go downstairs. I went and put my steaks on the smoker. I was like, I'll come back up and they'll kick it off and I won't miss any of the game. I went and put my steaks on the smoker. I came back upstairs. They were still haven't kicked the extra point. And then the other one that like, there was a face mask on Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, and then they had to have a meeting about it. And there was they showed the spider cam, and the umpire's looking right at it, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell is the discussion?"
I want hot mic.
I was like, "This is the other thing. I do not understand. Why is the SEC? Why are they not doing the replay center thing? That the ACC's done it."
That was so good on Friday night with Florida State, Virginia. It's fantastic. So
well,
good.
And then there was a big. What was I watching today? Who was ACC playing early?
ACC and Big 12 are doing it.
Oh, the Big 12 is too?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Big 12's doing it too. Maybe it was the Georgia Tech game. I can't remember. I was watching the game earlier, but it's like, why is the SEC not doing it? Because they still use a replay official and they don't want to do the, hey, we're showing you inside the booth or whatnot. Because the thing is, they need to show it just to prove to everyone. There's enough of the people that are like actually believe in conspiracies that they need to show it. But it's almost like they're so worried about exposing their officials in any shape, form, or fashion. But it's like, I have no idea like what the logic behind not doing it would be.
So how long before they do it? Because I mean, they are going to get pressured into it if everybody else is. Is it just last?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they probably don't want to do it because they're going to be like, man, these people already thought we were bad at our job. Now they're really going to hear how bad we are.
Yeah, they don't want to hear us. Maybe they don't want to hear us not know the rules.
Oh, it's every game, man. It's like I'm sitting there. So I know y'all probably didn't get a chance to watch it. Jeffrey may have, but Auburn's playing Texas A&M at the exact same time. And look, Auburn stunk up the yard now, okay? But, like, there was this great play at the end of the game. Auburn somehow had the ball with a chance to win the game. Somehow, I still haven't figured out how they literally got dominated the entire game. But they scramble around, throws it up for like a 20 or 30-something yard conversion on third down. They're going to have the ball, like, inside the 10 or 15-yard line. We got a holding call, and then they go and they show it, and I'm like, dude, like it's so bad, man. It's so bad. It's on so many levels. I mean, I think Ole Miss, it should tell you something. Lane's teams have been really good with penalties since he's been here. As a whole, minus the right tackle issues he had there for about 2 years, but They had like I slipped that one in there.
That's good.
They had the most penalties that he's ever had since he's been here in the first half today. Like, come on, guys! Like,
let's also credit halftime adjustments. I think they had 10 in the first half. They only had 4 in the second half.
Oh well, then
probably got a phone like, "Hey, this game we got Alabama, Georgia coming on after you. If we're at this pace."
No, I swear to God, the game got officiated differently in the second half. It was almost like maybe initially, because like this is the other aspect of it. Other than I thought the pass interference call where they called pass interference on number 6 and there wasn't a 6 involved in the play, because like they were trying to say, well, maybe it was on the other DB. Well, it's like, well, that's not pass interference. That could be holding. Like you could call something, but it's not intent. The ball wasn't thrown at him, so it can't be pass interference. Other than that, I did think most of the calls that went against Ole Miss, I was like, yeah, I think that's that's a penalty. But I guess where Ole Miss fans have the right to gripe is it's like it felt like every time Ole Miss did anything, they threw a flag, and LSU got away with more. Like I will say that's how it felt to me. But the second half, it definitely felt like there was a phone call put in like, hey, boys, I don't know if you know what's after you, but we better be getting to that one on time.
Tennessee has knocked off Mississippi State. They went in overtime by 7. Is that right?
So we didn't win by 7.5.
They did. Yeah.
41-34 final.
In our thing, Jeffrey, what was it, 8.5? Hey, Carly. What do you
I took State, so I covered.
Say hello? You can say hello.
I hate LSU because they smell like corn dogs, and I hate corn dogs, and I never want to eat them in my life.
She does legitimately hate corn dogs. Like, it's actually the truth. Like, she won't eat them at lunch.
The bigger part of that story is, why does she hate corn dogs?
No, she can't stand them. She will not eat a hot dog or a corn dog. It's true.
Well, my wife was saying, did I need to go get a corn dog for my daughter to eat?
Really?
Yeah.
You get champagne when Freeze loses now.
No. Only big losses.
What was that final today?
16-10.
16-10?
That was a cover.
Awful.
That was an Auburn cover.
Yeah, it was.
Sure was.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, got a little cover there. I can't really blame a kid for not eating a hot dog or a corn dog, though. Like, if we actually think about, like, I mean, if you have any idea what they're like, come on. Like, now look, I love me a corn dog. I'm not talking crap about them, but I get it at the same time.
Yeah, but if we do that whole thing, like, if we're gonna sit there and go, like, if you really think about it, like,
that's anything.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what the cow had to go through for the steak? I try not to think about it. I really do.
It's fair.
Touchdown Alabama. They're up 7-0, boys.
7-0.
Look, I get plenty of hunches wrong. I just kind of had a hunch tonight they were going to play really well. I was sort of there with that.
It was the fact that the entire world was like, Georgia's going to kill them.
Y'all do realize this game's still in the first quarter, right?
Yeah, but
did I say I'm right? Did I say it's over? I just said I got a hunch. That's all. I'm just saying I got a hunch. We'll see.
I think they're showing that they're going to be game tonight.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm saying. So, all right, let's hit this quick, and then we'll start watching football and kind of get on it. But Siski alluded to it, and it's really the story here. I mean, Ole Miss gets a hell of a win. They get to 5-0. You guys get to feel good for, hell, frankly, a while now, because you're going to feel good all the way to a trip to Athens when Ole Miss is going to be ranked somewhere in the top 10, probably pushing the top 5 at some point.
They're going to be top 10. They're going to be top 10 tomorrow. They're going to be top 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, I would assume so. We'll go over the rankings in a minute. Let's see. Well, we'll give it now. Let's see. All right. Ohio State, they won. Miami won. The Penn State-Oregon loser doesn't fall below Ole Miss, right? So that's irrelevant.
We're now starting to get into the thing where the 0 matters.
Okay. Florida State, for sure, the hell out of there. Does Ole Miss jump LSU tomorrow?
Yes. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Poll mechanics, dude. How far is LSU falling?
Yeah, they'll jump them tomorrow. Now, I mean, how many voters didn't watch the game? I don't know, but
I mean, I'll say this: I could give 2 shits. I'm the wrong one, the guy. I could give literally 2 shits about the poll.
I'm just covering it before I ask you the question. That's all. I
think they're going to be ranked high. They're going to be ranked high. It doesn't matter.
They're 13 today in the AP. They're 11 in the coaches. They're guaranteed at least like 9 in the coaches tomorrow.
Yeah,
Well, I was also thinking about this when y'all were talking about it. You don't want to take away from Ole Miss's win. It's like I don't know what to tell y'all. Like that was an awesome win, but can we also at least acknowledge one of the things that this era has taken away from us is we don't really know the context. Like it used to be, hey, you beat Alabama. It's like, well, we know that they're good. Like we know at the end of the year, that's going to be a team that matters. The problem is you beat somebody and you're like, I don't like. Can't y'all see a world where LSU's offense is a real problem for them, and that team loses 3 or 4 more games? I can also see a world where that LSU defense is really good, and they start to get healthier on the offensive line. They get their starting running back, and that they're able to be better. But it's I have no idea. And I feel like that's a big part of it, whereas we can't just sit there and rely on the helmets to know whether or not something was a big win.
They were hellaciously good on defense. They are fast. They are deep. They are talented.
Fast.
They are damn good defensively.
They fit the run game and fit the perimeter very, very, very well. They really do.
There were so many plays where I thought there was a hole, and it just collapsed.
Yeah, they fit the run. I mean, they're good on defense. I mean, that's just and I won't say this too because it's going to get lost in translation. I thought Ole Miss's defense was much night and day better. Even I know that LSU struggled and all that. I know LSU's offense, Arkansas's offense, probably, but much better. I mean, you saw improvement. I thought they did up front. I thought they covered guys on the back end really well. I thought they were out talented. I mean, I'm going to call it like it is. They were out talented. They got beat a ton off the line of scrimmage and press man, but they found a way to make plays, and you cannot ignore that. It's when sometimes you get beat, man, you got to find a way to make plays. And I thought they did a good job. It was the best pass interference call in Ole Miss history.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It was the best.
It was a great underthrow by Nussmeier because he had him that was a remarkable throw your guy covered.
Yeah, I mean, that was I know we complain about we just spent 30 minutes complaining about the officials, but that was the greatest defensive pass interference call for Ole Miss's defense history because the game I think would have changed on that. It was kind of ironic. I know, again, you were probably not watching it. I had both games on. Literally at the exact same moment, both teams, both LSU and Auburn were down 10 points. And literally at the exact same moment, both teams threw Texas A&M and Ole Miss threw a pick at the exact same time. Auburn got theirs down to the 1, scored, and then LSU misses that for a touchdown. I think that would have changed the game. Again, butterfly effect, but that was a great pass interference call.
It also goes to me back to the situational. The reason why I thought Ole Miss won this game is how much better they were in situations. Hey, quick change, turnover, and you're sitting there all of us are sitting there that have ever watched football game. Got to hold them to 3. Got to hold them to 3, and they did. I felt like most of the time where you're sitting there going, you got to do this on this possession. Ole Miss was able to execute, and I think that's why we're talking about them winning tonight.
I want to look at Ole Miss's. Go ahead.
So I was going to ask Tyler, do we have to say? I know you ended up covering because you bought the half or whatever. I think we're even with Auburn. Last week, they were the right side the whole game. They should have covered. Today, it felt like A&M should have covered the whole game because Auburn, I think, had 70 yards of offense.
Auburn, I think, Jeffrey, you may have to look this up because I have not. I think they were 0 for on third down.
They were 0 of 11 until I think they finished 0 for 12 maybe.
Yeah, they were.
God, Kent's got to be better on third downs.
Dude, it didn't matter who was calling plays day ball. They got their ass kicked. I mean, that was just this is the one where it's just, hey, brother. They pretty much in every facet. Defense somehow kept them in the game long enough to where they somehow got the ball back with a chance to score and win the game at the end. And I was like, man, if they do this may be the worst gut punch in the history of Texas A&M football because they literally completely dominated that football game from start to finish. And they missed field goals. They couldn't finish drive, whatever it was, but it was not pretty. They were for the Tigers on the road.
0 for 13 on third downs. Wow.
Yeah. And then the other thing was their average third down was like 11.8 yards. Is that right?
I've got it right here. No, it wasn't that bad, Tyler. It was only 10.7.
Oh, we got some help at the last couple drives, right?
Yeah. They had a couple got themselves in good position there.
Their average third down was over 10 yards.
Correct.
Yeah,
They'd been better off just
happened?
kneeling the damn thing twice.
Jeffrey, you know what happened right there, right? It was 11 something, and then that very last one. Remember, they had third and one, and they didn't get it,
and they got it. Yeah. No, it was, they had
one
of their 13 third downs, 8 were 9 or longer.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was like, and then and it was like Jackson Arnold. He did get rid of some of them faster, but some of them it didn't matter. Last week I felt bad for the O-line getting just shit because they got bad because Jackson Arnold had on the ball. Yeah, not so much this week. They just got their ass kicked.
Yeah, it was like everything evened out because, yeah.
Ole Miss, again, going into a bye week, Washington State October 11th for homecoming, and then the first of two big road games at Georgia October the 18th, at Oklahoma October 25th. After that point, they don't leave the state of Mississippi the rest of the regular season. Look, we talked that playoff was possible. Playoff, at least the way the schedule was set up, was something that was doable for this team. After this win, it switches from doable to probably a disappointment if you don't, because I'm still under the thought that 10-2 is for sure in. I think 10-2 in the SEC is getting in. I just do. I don't care. If they don't, then fine. We'll reevaluate the damn thing later. But right now, I think
you and I talked about this on Thursday. I will bet anyone if
why are you
Ole Miss
looking at me like that, Tyler? What?
I mean, can you just be happy fan for a minute?
I'm getting asked by 1,000 people to talk about it right now, almost literally. So I'm talking.
I will bet anyone anything.
I'm going to push back on the
disappointment. They're getting in the playoff.
Okay, go ahead.
I will
go
bet
ahead.
anyone anything.
The floor is yours.
I'm going to push back on the disappointment. I mean, you can't just keep freaking like moving the fucking goalposts as the season goes. Listen,
who said it was disappointing? I'm just saying.
Hey, when August the 23rd comes, set the goalpost, and then at the end of the season, see where you're at. You can't go, oh shit, let's move the goalpost to the right. Now that we're at the 20, now that we're approaching the red zone, let's move that goalpost over here. Set the goalpost, and that way you don't set yourself up for emotional failure. Just you're happy from here on out. Great win by Ole Miss. They set themselves up in a great position. But just don't move the goalpost. I can't get on the fact because nobody, like, if you didn't have just completely rose-colored glasses on, nobody could really sit at the beginning of the season and go, "Oh, this is a playoff team."
Oh no, not at all. No, hell no.
They have done
Let's
a great
rephrase
job.
it. I think they have an opportunity in front of them now, given what has happened.
I'm with you, but it's not but disappointment and failure. I can't go there. I think.
Let's do it this way. I think 10-2 gets in. Winning this game sets them up for an opportunity moving forward. Washington State sucks. They're going to get to 6-0. They're going to win that. They're going to win that football game. Wazoo sucks.
Ole Miss is going to be bowl eligible.
They are. In 2009, they said that over the loudspeaker when it happened, or 2008, whatever year it was. Ole Miss has come a long way since that time period. Here, let's do this, Siski. I think you'll play this game with me. Again, we don't know John Mateer's health. He's out for a few weeks. I don't know what that's going to look like in 4 weeks when Ole Miss heads to Norman. Ole Miss's remaining schedule at Georgia, at Oklahoma, South Carolina, Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State. State played really, really well at home today in Starkville. Rate to me the difficulty of Ole Miss's remaining games in order, given matchups.
All right, go. All right, so.
All right, here's the remaining games again. Washington State, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State.
Yeah, it's so dependent on who's quarterbacking at Oklahoma, right? It's Georgia, Oklahoma, 1-2, whichever one you want to do, right? It's depending on Mateer and what Oklahoma looks like. I didn't get a chance to watch. They're playing right now. They've already played. I don't know, but
they're playing South Carolina right now. Is that right? Am I wrong?
No. I think they're off today.
That's Kentucky. Never mind. That's Kentucky, South Carolina. Oklahoma's off.
Oklahoma's off. They have Kent State next week.
Kent State next.
Then Texas. I set the over under is he back by Ole Miss? Now the other thing is, like, what's he like when he's back? Like, he just had surgery. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how effective he is or isn't going to be.
Yeah, thumb injury is so weird. You don't know, right? Just because it's
Correct.
gripping
Like
football.
how he grips, yeah, and it's on his throwing hand.
Yeah, it's not like a pain thing. It's going to be a literally functional thing. But like I saw where somebody said they may have a shot playing against Texas, so we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, just
A
depends on
healthy
what doctor.
Mateer, there's no doubt Oklahoma's 1 or 2 on the remaining games. Sure.
Yeah.
Almost every now take it as the gospel. Every Twitter doctor basically said it's a month-long thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think Ole Miss will probably or likely be underdogs in those 2 games.
Okay.
I think they will be favored probably
In the rest
by by at least 2 scores, and the other ones by at least a minimum of 2 scores, and the other ones.
So you think they're at least -8 against South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi State, Washington State?
And Mississippi State will be the only one because rivalry game on the road. No, it's at home, right? Or is it on the road?
It's on the road. It's in Starkville.
It's a rivalry game on the road, and they're playing well. I know they lost today, but they're playing really well. So maybe it's close to 7, but it's probably inside of a touchdown. So I mean, to me, it's the same thing I said on our show Thursday, Chase. I said, look, if, in my opinion, if Ole Miss beats LSU, and based on where everybody's at and you're 5 games in this thing, I think Ole Miss is a playoff team if they avoid the landmines, right? So what they can't do is have a no-show against, like, I know we make all the jokes and everything, but like Florida's good enough defensively that if you no-show and you pull up like you did against them last year, but against Kentucky, you got to come to play. I mean, people still have enough ass to beat you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but Ole Miss should be. I think I would be kind of surprised at this point if they're not favored in every game except for Oklahoma and Georgia on the road.
And taking out the Kentucky game last year, I mean, frankly, Ole Miss just doesn't lose at home very much. I mean, hell, they ain't losing much of anywhere. They're 25-5 in their last 30, or 26-5 in their last 31, or whatever it is at this point. But you've got Carolina and Florida in Oxford for those games, and yeah, it's. I mean, look, somebody said, "Hey, I'll streak around my house if Ole Miss is undefeated going to Georgia." Well, go ahead and get to streaking because they're not losing to Washington State. So 6-0 headed to Athens.
Hey, I know you're fired up about the Rebels right now. I know you are. I know your Colonel Reb thongs are burning up in your britches right now. Hey, but the coach in me is just, hey, let's just 1 game at a time, boss. Let's just 1 game at a time. Let's don't jump
go
ahead.
read that North Texas Washington State score for me again, and then try to convince me that
I understand I'm with you on. Hey, man, you don't come to play against South Carolina at home.
Yeah, sure. You can get your ass kicked.
They're good enough on defense; they can beat you. I'm with you on Florida. I cannot get with you there on Washington State.
No, I know they were going to win. I'm just just relax. Just because those are the ones that get your ass fired. Ask me how I know.
This is the one where Siski's going, no, we're going to enjoy it tonight. We're just going to enjoy this one tonight.
24-hour rule, Mom. 24-hour rule.
Well, they have a bye week next week. You can do whatever.
24-hour bye week. 36. You can be hungover for 12 hours.
Oh, God.
I hope they're hungover tomorrow. They deserve to be hungover tomorrow.
They do. They played well.
Let's see. Get your extra super chats. Richard, thank you. Says huge win. Huge win. Thanks for the coverage. New situation is the best ever. Marine Reb says FLSU. Love it. Love a win. Jake, huge super chat. Appreciate you. Our running game is different this year. Getting the ball back with 5 minutes left, running the ball for first downs to run the clock was a wonderful sight. Big call there on 4th as well. And then Joey, thanks super chat, says avoid this landmine as a quote. Yes, yeah, they definitely have to avoid the landmines because you're both right. There are several losable games on that schedule outside of
right.
the trip to Athens and the trip to Norman.
The landmines are not Washington State. The landmines to me are South Carolina, Florida, and at Mississippi State.
I already know how this is going to go. I'm going to get Chase is going to have his freaking interns pulling the freaking clip to put it on there. It says, I think Washington State's going to beat Ole Miss. Have the AI on it. It'll be on the board. Said Siski says that Washington State's going to skull drag Ole Miss in 2 weeks.
Somebody just sent me a stat here, by the way. Ole Miss over their last 11 games is 10-1, which is the best record in the country, and it includes 2 wins over top 4 teams. I mean, a little bit of cherry picking there, but it does show you that. I mean, they are running up some lofty numbers that at least have not been seen in the modern era.
Yeah,
So,
I have a tough time on this because now there's a 12-team playoff and good
Yeah.
teams like losses. Like, I don't. Hey, they're every possible goal that you wanted to have at the beginning of the season is now doable. To me, like, the big thing about tonight is tonight was the swing game. If they could win this game, they had every right to think, starting from here on out, they can think of their team as a playoff team. They have not earned it yet. They have not proven it yet, but it's very much like in the possibility now.
Walker Bailey telling us in the chat, Chambliss now 16-1 plus 1,600 to win the Heisman. That's the seventh best odds in the country.
Was he overlooked this whole offseason? Was he disrespected?
Hey, look, to the credit, I made fun of him. We all kind of made fun of him. First press conference, he goes, we were at Ferris State.
Guys.
They had players too. It's going to be fine. And I was like, okay, sure.
Did Lane disrespect him?
Do you play both quarterbacks, Siski, once they both come back? You got a package for both of them? What are you doing?
Nope, I'm playing one.
I want to state for the record. I'm Team Tyler here. I understand everything that's going on, but it's like you built the whole thing around Austin Simmons. Like, if he comes back and he's healthy, like I think we saw in the first quarter of this game, I think Austin Simmons was going to have a hell of a good day if he was healthy against Arkansas and Tulane. Because you know what I think we also saw? Ole Miss is pretty good, and those teams are not. So they were going to put it on offense. They were going to score.
All right, can we have a common sense conversation here and take emotion out of it just for 1 second? All right, I'm asking you two guys. If Austin Simmons does not get hurt against Kentucky, is he the starting quarterback right now?
Yes.
100%. He hasn't come out at any point. Frankly, probably no matter how he played, even.
Okay. Point two. Did Austin Simmons and Trinidad practice side by side right next to Lane Kiffin for about 50 practices before 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Tyler. I was not there.
Is Lane Kiffin a good football coach?
I think that's a new yes.
Is Lane Kiffin good with quarterbacks?
I think he's elite in both of those things.
Yes.
I don't know why I have to be the asshole here. I mean, sorry.
Tyler goes, hey, Trinidad, we appreciate you. You're the man. I'm going to pat you on the ass and be ready in case something happens.
Yeah.
Here's the ball, 13.
He's good at what he does. This is not me. Again, you can't have an honest conversation with anybody anymore without them viewing it as you're hating on them or their fan base or their guy. Not hating at all. Think the guy's fucking great. Okay, but let's have a common sense conversation about it and take the estrogen out. You know what I mean?
Well, especially here because, I mean, look, no, Ole Miss is much better on the offensive front and the run game than last year. There's no doubt about that. They're given some pocket presence to the guy. I mean, Simmons would have thrown for a lot of yards today. I mean, he's got to turn down the things. But LSU, they picked on the LSU corners at times today. I mean, they went at them on the outside.
Well,
they didn't stats say tomorrow.
I think also, I think they had to do that because those are the throws he can make. Like, it was
they were playing press man with they went
right.
They went one high and they were shutting down the run. They weren't going to let you. That was your, even on the pick. I mean, you still had the ball was left a little bit inside and short, but he's still where he had to go with the ball. I mean, when you're playing press man with no safety help and it's P and 10, like, and you got an SEC team out there. Yeah, we're taking the shot. I mean, that's explosive plays. And one thing, turnovers will get your ass beat, but so will explosive plays. So, you got to take them, and you got good players out there. You got those are. I mean, that's the right thing to do. That, or you can just beat your head up against the wall and get 1 yard and run it up the middle. I mean, whatever you want to do.
The one thing I'm going to say is that we still really have no idea how long Simmons is out because, like you said last week, this looks nothing like a low ankle. So,
yeah, I didn't see him. I didn't go to the game, so I didn't know how he looked moving around before this game. But he'll get better every week. I imagine you'll probably. I say this. I would be interested to see what happens to Washington State game. right? You got 2 weeks. And I said this, I don't remember if it was Monday with AJ or if it was Thursday, is, Lane's in a no-win situation, just to be honest. And if he goes, okay, he's going to play Austin Simmons in the wait and he's healthy, he's going to throw him out there against the Georgia game. The first time something doesn't go right,
the fan base is going to be cheering for Chambliss.
Yeah, so you just got to be careful with it, what you do, how you handle it. I mean,
it's going to be a weird situation from that standpoint. There's no doubt.
Regardless of what happens, it's going to be hard.
Hey, we got to do some financial planning here for everybody. Tyler, how do we feel about taking Georgia live right
now? Not very good. They ain't looking very good right now.
14-0 tied at the moment. 14:01 to go second quarter.
Ty Simpson's freaking on point today.
It is one hell of an environment in Happy Valley. I'll give them that. That is one impressive crowd.
It's why when you kept asking me what's the game, I don't know, I'm a sucker for this thing. I think the whiteouts.
Have y'all been?
No,
I've not been, but my old radio partner went because I'm impressed at how they're able. I was like, where do they stick the road people to make the whiteout so effective? And he's like, they put them in this. He showed me the corner that they were in, and it's like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for this game. We
got a missed kick from the Ducks. Still 3-0 Penn State. 9:36 to go. Second quarter in that one. Dan Lanning with a little frustrated smirk there on the sidelines. I mean, our boy in the stream, Hall Hastings, he's really feeling it. Georgia down 14-0. Oklahoma lost Mateer, possibility of 12-0. So he's there for the Rebels right now as we're going.
Colonel Rev Thong's on fire. On fire. He's got full-fledged jock itch from Colonel Rev Thong. He's wearing a spot on his inside of his thigh there.
Oh God! Do we have 4 games? What else we got? What are we doing other than Alabama and Penn State? I guess the main two.
I have Kentucky. A money line parlay with Memphis, and Memphis is farting around in Boca right now, so that's a little concerning.
Okay.
I'm taking Georgia live.
Hey, what did Sumrall end up doing today? 7-7 last I saw. What Tulane did?
They were up like 17-ish. Yeah.
I haven't seen the
it was like spooky for a little bit.
I'm not scared. I'll ride with you, sir. Let's see where we're at.
Yeah, what is the Georgia money line right now?
I can't tell.
Plus 255.
Oh,
I got it plus 230.
All right, I'm taking it.
This is the class. Simmons can't play for Wazoo. Get him a medical red shirt. That's irrelevant. They're not staying long enough for it to matter. It just isn't.
Yeah, red shirting is as useless as tits on a chicken.
Well, my other thing is does eligibility matter? I feel like hey, if you just have
we've been debating whether Chambliss has an extra year of eligibility, even though it's very much documented right there in the middle of the damn situation that he's in his 5th clock year as
but
time
to me, the clock doesn't even matter anymore. You just need a good enough attorney and a good enough sob story, and the NCAA goes, well, I guess we don't want this one getting public.
That's one thing they are winning. I mean, they haven't won much, but they are winning those.
They are winning those, unless does Trinidad have any COVID? When did he get to Ferris State?
No, here I'll explain in a second. I got Brian coming in for a stadium hot take in a second, so I'm going to bring him in. But Chambliss. Here's the deal, and we talked about this multiple times. Is he signed in 21, so COVID doesn't apply for 21. He redshirted in 21. He played in 2 games in 22, but that again doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many games you play. And then he played in 23, 24, 25. So the 5-year clock is expiring with 4 years of eligibility at the end of this season at this point. That is what is happening. The only waiver opportunity would be you suing and saying that D2 is the same as JUCO, and thus you should have more years. But here's why it's a moot point, is they're both not going to be on the damn roster either way. So who cares?
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. There have been guys that have done my D2 time shouldn't have counted, and they're not winning. It seems to be the only people that are actually winning these arguments are JUCO guys.
Well, Jason says it's not documented. So many people wouldn't be arguing if it was cut
Because
and
it's
dry.
not. You didn't
His
start any
bio
before
on the internet is wrong because the players turn those bios in themselves, and they're wrong half the time. Like Siski and I both found it. He was literally on the roster in 21. I've pulled up the Ferris State roster in 21, and he's on the damn thing. So again, maybe he gets a waiver for some reason, but with the current rules as they stand, he's out of freaking eligibility, regardless of what the 10 people on the damn message board say over and over and damn over.
Now,
I don't know.
Clear. I need to be clear. Memphis
He only
just
played
got
2 games, though, Chase. He only played 2 games.
Memphis just got a seventh year senior eligible as a big. Everyone's tried to
maybe rules don't apply. That's not my argument. I'm not.
No,
saying...
I'm with you. This has been my biggest frustration. Is normally I felt like even if you morally had questions with rules from the NCAA rulebook, you could at least okay, I get the logic. Now it's like I have no idea. Sometimes people get it. Like it feels way more arbitrary now than ever.
Yeah, I mean, somebody asked why did all the I'm not going to respond to why a certain publication put out wrong data on a story, but the wrong data was out. I think people got confused because his bios only started with 22 because nobody included because the Ole Miss website listed him as a true freshman in 22, and it was just incorrect. That's what happened, and then it got all whatever.
Let's go, Jeffrey. Let's go, Jeffrey.
I mean, it is a crazy Ole Miss. They're like Ole Miss is like I don't know something in one at home in the last like few years. Like they just don't lose home games. They just beat the number 4 team in the country with a D2 backup quarterback. It is a fairly remarkable thing. Brian, you were texting me a minute ago. You think this was the best Ole Miss home crowd in 22 years?
Well, I'm not for a gotcha moment since the last time I was on this show, but I do think it was a pretty good crowd. Siski, it's great to see your bright and shining face. Jeffrey, you too.
Good to see you, Brian.
I thought I was banned from this show, for a while since I had people in the Grove, Arkansas weekend, the week after that, yelling cheetah at me. Never met them in my life. I thought I was being censored by Vladimir Putin. Yeah. I thought I was being censored by Vladimir Putin Parham here, but I'm glad to be back. I thought it was a great crowd. I thought it was pretty electric from start to finish. That place was really packed. I guess in the modern version of the stadium, I thought that was the best crowd they've had in a long time. I guess, I don't know, Georgia weekend last year would probably rival that, but I don't know. I threw a take out there and Chase was like, get on the postgame show. That's what gets me on these days.
I have a take. I also have a take. Does the message board owe Neil an apology? Because Neil's argument has always been 2:30 is the best time for crowds. And
they do. That was really the best time for a crowd. It was electric. People weren't like too drunk yet, but they were walking in. They were still. I agree. 2:30 is a great time for a crowd.
What time did you stop drinking, Rippy?
What
time did you stop drinking?
Couple out about the second half of the game. I have Weldon Rodenberg and his wife is staying with us, LSU Spy. So I had to had to be put together for them. They're out on the town. They're young bucks. I have a 6.5-month pregnant wife, so we're back at home. But we've enjoyed having them at the house this weekend. That's your protege there, Siski. He speaks highly of you. Weldon, he speaks highly of you.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good crowd. What did
they get a little nervous there toward the end, or did it stay pretty upbeat and raucous throughout?
No, I thought the crowd collectively was pretty nervous throughout the entire game, particularly on that 4th down where I thought they should have kicked it. Maybe I'm wrong. What did y'all think about that 4th down call at the end of the football game?
Dude, he hasn't punted in 6 years or kicked it.
No, the field goal. If Canero attempts the 53-yarder.
My point. If any of y'all thought that Lane Kiffin, like I know he had an E60 deal where his life has changed. That shit ain't changed. Okay, he was going.
You don't think he even thought about it?
0%. No, it never crossed his mind.
No, in fairness to Tyler's point, when they showed, I can never. What's our Italian kicker's name now? What's his name?
Lucas Carnero.
Yeah. Carnero.
He was on the sideline. he was on the sideline like 40 yards away, just standing. He didn't even think there was a chance they were kicking. So like when they showed him, like he was like on the other end, like just hanging out. Like
He
I was
wasn't
like,
doing what the Illinois kid was doing earlier today when he
Right.
looked like he was about to have a damn panic attack. That kid looked terrified before he made that kick.
I immediately, because I had Illinois, I was like, somebody get that kid some Xanax now. Like that guy, like I was like, how long does it take to kick in? But I guess this would be my point though. I think historically, what is considered in Chase in my lifetimes, the 4 best crowds are 03 LSU, 14 Alabama, last year's Georgia, and if Rippy's throwing in today, and today I'm just saying from television, today looked electric, and McDonough got on there.
Hey, I'd like to have a nomination for that nobody cares about anymore. 2012
21 A&M.
2012 Egg Bowl.
Oh,
that's a good one. That crowd was absolutely lit.
You know what
I
else
was
was
there
a good
for that
one?
game. Siski,
No,
that's a good one.
You know what else was a good one? 2014 Egg Bowl.
maybe
Yeah,
even
it
more
was.
in a way. It's just different. That
But
2012 team's
the
like really
Egg Bowl
beloved,
crowds
though.
are different because it's not your normal week routine. You don't have a week of class. It's coming back from that. But that's a good point. That 2012, in terms of like, I thought the crowd, I was a senior in high school, the crowd having fun. That 2012 Egg Bowl is an all-timer with Moncrief. I thought that was a pretty good point.
So to me, all of those games that I just referenced are all 230 kicks, with the exception being Tyler's suggestion of 2012. That was a Thursday night. That was a Thanksgiving night, right?
No, that was a Saturday.
No, the 2012 one was because I was in town. I was in college. I was back.
That was a Thursday?
It was a Saturday.
I'm nearly certain. It was a night game though.
I'll bet you $100 it was on a Saturday.
Well,
it was a night game, but it was Saturday for sure.
If you're on staff, I mean, I do remember the 2014 game was definitely Saturday.
12 was definitely Saturday. Because that was the only reason I was allowed to go. I was a little hellion as a high schooler, so my parents.
2012 was Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yep, I stand corrected. I was there too. I don't know why I thought that. I just remember that.
I wasn't drinking. I was there.
I wasn't drinking either. I went with my family.
Did y'all?
I was.
Siski, did y'all feel like y'all had to win that game to finish off that class? In a way.
No, but it didn't hurt. I mean, I didn't want to think about the alternative. I'm a plan A guy. I mean,
let's go ahead and win this, and then
60
we'll go from there.
Let's win.
That was the famous speech, right? 60 for 60 more. The guy from Illinois, Laquan Treadwell, the guy from Ohio, the guy from Georgia. That was that speech, was it not?
It was. You know who wrote that speech?
Tyler Siski.
Kane Womack.
I always knew you were a poet.
Kane Womack wrote that speech.
So how did he deliver it to Hugh? Was it on like a yellow legal pad and he memorized it, or what? Like, what do we do?
No idea. No idea.
If they had lost that game, would he have blamed that speech on Kane Womack?
I don't know. We didn't lose it though, did we? Guess we'll never
know.
know.
Tyler, who wrote the lock the gate speech?
I don't know that one. You have to help me out on that one.
Alabama 2013, lock the gate, pick a fight, right?
Yeah, it was 2013 Bama. Yeah, that's right.
They did not lock the gate, and they did not pick a fight that day.
That is true.
I don't remember that one.
That was like 25.
That was
10.
That was another. Well, it was like 20. No, it was 25-0. I think. I don't think they scored.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, because I think Neil and I covered that one. That was one of the first Treadwell passes. They had a Treadwell pass that didn't work, and then remember they went for it like on a 4th down with a Quan on a reverse, and it was like so wide open, and somehow he didn't. I still to this day have no idea how he didn't get it. Like he was like in the open field, and like he took the path that you could somehow not get the first down. I don't
remember that game.
2013, they came in with that was AJ's senior year.
Yeah, there was some asshole with binoculars stealing signs.
No, I thought the 14 game was that game.
It was.
I think that's 14.
It was.
I think his name is Tyler Siskey.
I don't recall. I do not recall, sir. I do
You
not
don't recall?
No, hold on. I thought,
You
I'm sorry.
played
I'm not.
the
14. I thought the binocular game's 15.
No,
No.
the binocular game was 13, was it not, Siskey?
I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
Oh my god. That
I
was
want to
absolutely
be clear. I want to be clear. I was not. I really did think the binocular game was 15. But I'm also. Hey, I've defended you my whole life, and I know what all you were doing was calling out formations and stuff. So, like, I know actually what was happening. But I also have defended you my entire life of, if I have somebody that's on staff, that's on a new staff, guess what I do when I play said team? I change my fucking signs. Like, holy cow.
Guys, Ole Miss had a big win. Can y'all be happy? Can we just go to the Ole Miss? Let's
He's
talk about
like Buddha today. He's like Gandhi. Just can we
24 to 19 over LSU. Over the number, what rank were they? What was their rank today? The number 4 ranked LSU Bengal Tigers, the Ole Miss Rebels win 24 to 19. Rippy, tell me about what you thought of the defensive line performance against the LSU Bengal Tigers.
I would love to, Siskey. I'll put that on my shoulder. I took the blame for bringing up bad memories. I thought Ole Miss's defensive line played pretty well. They were much maligned for a lot of the time, and I thought they played pretty well today. I guess I'll throw a question back at y'all and y'all's expert opinion. Siskey, I listened to you and Neil's podcast this week. I have totally agreed with your take on like how you handled the quarterback situation. Now that Trinidad Chambliss, y'all may have already discussed this, but now that he has beaten LSU, does that change your opinion on?
No, it does not. Siskey gets very angry when we ask this question. It does not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to
13 plays. 13 plays.
All I'm saying is, Rippy, you're turning into Kim Jong Param right now. Nobody loves to stoke that. Nobody loves to stoke that quarterback controversy like him. I'm just asking the questions. There's like 1,000 people in the chat asking the question.
I'm just grateful I have the right to ask a question. Vladimir Putin Parham here banned me from the postgame show for 2 weeks after Strippergate.
Ole Miss did get the message today not to storm the field because that was going to be $500,000 to do so. I will give them credit for that. That was good.
Could have been $10K for some swim trunks, but you know.
I think it was very swaggy not to. It's like you expect to do it.
Lately, the damn Ole Miss LSU winner has been storming every year lately. I mean,
and I'll tell you though, as soon as that game ended, that they have the removable goalposts now. They were launching that thing down immediately as soon as the game ended. Like I'm not even sure if you were trying to take down the goalpost, you would have to have leapt out of the stadium as soon as the clock hit 0. They had those things going to the ground immediately. Oh. We got a 5th guest here.
Let's go.
Okay. Josephine, can you give Chase a Sig Heil? Sig Heil. One time.
Yeah.
One time.
Golly.
Just saying. Can you do it?
Yeah. Third right Parham.
Thank you. Perfect.
Third right Parham.
Third right.
Did she wear her red bow the entire game? Jeffrey, what was our outfit?
So, night, baby. We love you. She tonight had on. Aaliyah tried to get her on the cheerleader outfit. She had nothing to do with that. And then Aaliyah has like one of those like polo dress things that like goes down that had Ole Miss on it. So she had that on.
Her record's
How old
still
is your
pretty
baby,
good.
Jeffrey?
She just turned 2 a month ago.
Okay, congrats. My wife is 6.5 months pregnant, so I'm just terrified for what's to come.
That's awesome. The first 4 months sucks, but
can I make a suggestion from a 3-time world champ? I need to make a suggestion 3 times. Look, all right, Rip, we need to have a serious conversation because you never know these days.
That's all we have is serious conversations, Siskey. I'm ready.
All right, look, when you go and the moment of truth is coming and she's pushing, okay, you're going to be sitting there right by her side, okay?
But I don't want to watch it. I'm going to pass out.
If you don't hear another word I tell you, and you don't ever listen to another thing I ever say for the rest of my life, hear me when I tell you this. Whatever happens, don't look.
I'm so far into this camp. This is why you're a word of wisdom, Siskey. I don't want to look. I'm actually a complete pussy when it comes to like blood and stuff. So I don't want to look. I've already decided, and my wife was like, "Yeah, I want you like neck up." I was like, "Thank God," because I don't want to look. I've heard it's pretty wild. I don't want to do that. And honestly, what happens if I look down and I pass out? what does that say about me as a man and a father? That's a tough one to recover from. I'm going to go neck up. Chase, did you look?
But it was, I had a different situation. So no, I was not in that realm of what was going on. No.
Okay, glad I brought that up.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all good.
Oh, I did.
So you're saying from experience, do not look.
Don't do it, dude. It's a trick. It's a trick.
Aaliyah had a C-section, so I was north of the border the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to and said, "Why the hell are you talking about?"
We had the curtain thing, and then I just had to.
I'm going to wind it back real quick because I'm seeing this question. No, Neil, little inside baseball. It's taking Neil a minute because there's no way he could have written everything before that game ended. It was still in doubt too late that he could get finished, so he was having to get back. Lane took forever to get to the press conference, and then he was trying to finish up. Siski, what do we take from that back seven in really a secondary for Ole Miss tonight? Getting better as the game goes on, the season goes on. Obviously, the best passing quarterback they have played there with Nussmeier, even though they were one-dimensional. What do you kind of make it of the Ole Miss secondary at this juncture?
I thought they played really well today, but I would put 75% of their success on the pressure to get the quarterback. I thought that was what – I mean, they affected the quarterback, and it made their – so just try to bring everybody in here. So when you're forcing the quarterback to leave the pocket, you immediately cut the field in half. And so now you're able to bonus with safeties and everything over. You're able to cheat from the backside. And that's why you see him a lot. Talking about Nussmeier, he has been flushed a lot this year, and he's made some bad decisions throwing back across his body. The reason that's a no-no to do is because you're getting bonus players from the backside because you're cutting the field in half, and they're not usually supposed to be there. So I would put probably – I thought they played great. Obviously, I thought they played better than they've played so far. But with that being said, I would give 75% of the credit at least to the able to create pressure on the quarterback.
And again, did it with a 3-man rush. I mean, I'll be curious tomorrow. I don't know if Jeffrey has it in some of the advanced stats yet. I'll look at PFL tomorrow. But it was 3-man rush almost exclusively. And that, I thought, took away a lot of LSU's screen game. They were a team that was running screens almost 20% of pass plays. And I thought that Ole Miss negated a lot of the stuff that they were trying to do. Again, they ended up throwing the ball 34 times today from Nussmeier, which might have been under what I was expecting going into the game because they just couldn't run it for anything. So, yeah.
Siski, did you think that was a sign that they could not run the football or even try the screen game throughout the game? They seemed like they did a lot of screen stuff on the perimeter. It seemed like LSU kind of knew early on they couldn't run the football in Ole Miss, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I just think they were trying to get their players the ball in space. I don't necessarily think it was – I mean, are you calling the ones that were throwing out of the backfield and blocking the perimeter, you're calling those screens? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I guess so. For layman's
they're trying to get playmakers the ball in grass. They were successful with them when they did them. They had a couple, obviously, that didn't work, but they hit some plays on them. And they just wasn't – they got to find a way to get their playmakers the ball in grass, and that's the easiest way to do it. It's just an extension of the running game is all it is. You're getting a playmaker – the ball in grass instead of 5 guys blocking 5 guys, you got 2 or 3 blocking 2 or 3, so just with more space.
So not to hijack Adolph Parham's show here, but I'm curious to get y'all's expert opinion. I thought this was such a huge swing game for Ole Miss. I'm not even sure how good this team is, but I think they have a good chance to make the playoff now that they won this game. What do y'all make of this? Did I miss this? Is this already been covered?
In coach mode, so he's very much into one day at a time.
Siski's trying to label Washington State as a landmine.
Okay, but it's a fair question given what we like.
No, it's a completely fair question. They have an opportunity.
The playoff thing's a fair question. I normally agree with Tyler on 95% of everything. I can't meet him there and go, Washington State's a landmine. Like I just can't.
Guys, I told you this would happen. At no point in this fucking podcast I say that Washington State was a landmine.
You put Ole Miss on upset alert in 2 weeks. You said mark it down. Somebody get the
simply said just fucking play one game at a time. Didn't say shit.
Make Tyler Siskey say that Ole Miss is on upset alert next Saturday or a week from Saturday.
He said,
I've
he
got
said
to
this is
stop
the
asking
kind of game that
questions.
might get you
Fireworks
fired.
happens every time I
think
ask
that's
a
what he said.
question.
Back to the original question. I do not
Yeah,
have
Siskey,
Ole Miss.
by the way, I did not ignite this fire. All I asked was, do you think Ole Miss has a much better shot to make the playoff now that they've beaten LSU? I'm not sure how good they are, but their schedule is very favorable, is all I asked.
Hey, Rippy, I will give you my exact what I said. I said Ole Miss is a playoff team if they can avoid the landmines. They're going to be favored in every game they play with the exception of two, which would, if they win those, and the games are going to be favored in will be double digits or double two scores, maybe depending on how Mississippi State finishes the season because it's a rivalry game on the road. But every game should be over 7 points plus besides those two games.
See,
that was exactly
If Mateer is out, is State a tougher game than Oklahoma?
Yes, Hawkins sucks. Hawkins is terrible.
What happened to Oklahoma today? I didn't even know who they played.
They're off. They play Kent State next.
What happened at A&M Auburn?
Well, I should say this. Assuming State is what happening at A&M Auburn is like one of the worst football games we've seen. Like you almost wish that you hadn't watched it.
It was like you were watching.
I'm not being an asshole. I haven't seen anything. I came straight home from the football game and what?
That was a game you had to watch.
A&M Auburn. A&M Auburn felt like a test of, do you like football? Like, how much do you like football? If you can stay watching this game, you probably like football too much. Like that was that game. I should say this. I think State is tougher, presuming they stay as healthy as they were today. Now, where State's going to have the problems, I don't think they have the depth that some of these other teams have. So they start to get one or two guys hurt. Well, all of a sudden we're now talking about a different thing because Oklahoma's defense. The one thing that is obvious about Oklahoma is Oklahoma's defense is, if not the best defense in the country, it's like one of five. So they will have the best unit on the field, whereas State, at no point can you make the argument they'll have the best unit either way.
Yeah, we've got, again, we were giving stuff away this week from Realtree, Realtree.com. Head on over there. Appreciate those guys every single week. As we said in the opener, your lifestyle gear, your hunting camo. You've got the new pattern. You can see it right there on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. The apparel looks great with the new pattern they've got coming out for the South Carolina game. Is when they're going to debut those helmets. They got them in last week. Already getting those prepared for their debut later on. So again, Realtree, Realtree.com. We're going to go ahead and throw it out. Remember, you have to do this after the show. I prefer email. I know that people have been messaging me on the site, Rebels247, and that's fine, but I much prefer an email form if you can do that, chase.parham@gmail.com. Once the show is over, and we're gonna go with playoffs for the word tonight for this show. The word is playoffs. And
man,
you can.
We didn't get a vote on that.
No. Executive decision.
Can we do landmines?
You want to do landmines?
I was gonna go with Putin Parham.
We're not doing that. You want to go with landmines?
Yeah, I like that. I love that. Why are you not wearing camo, by the way?
I have a Realtree cap on.
Okay.
Do you want to go with landmines, Jeffrey? I'll give you the move.
Or how about Russian camo, Parham? Is that too long to spell?
The biggest reason that he's not in camo is because he's wearing gray, just like everything Soviets would wear. Yeah. Like he's wearing his gray uniform.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, we will switch it. It is not playoffs. It is landmine is the word for the game today. Landmine.
We can't start talking about the playoffs until they beat what could be one of the biggest landmines of all time, which could be Washington State.
That's right. Landmine, the word with us after this.
Hold on, what was the flag? What's the flag in Georgia?
Fill in the promo code Communist Chase.
Nah. Super chat, thanks, Brennan, says, does this feel like a programmatic win for the Rebs, winning dirty, shooting themselves in the foot? Just felt like I was watching a different team. I mean, look, Ole Miss has a shit ton of confidence as a program right now. They win more than they lose. I mean, I think it's one thing that I don't know if people have not connected always with it. I don't know if we don't necessarily talk about it enough, but this is not some downtrodden program trying to get to 6-6 at this point. Like I think they expect to win every time they take the field. It's just a different era for this
Guys,
this program. I mean,
Ole Miss just played the 4th team in the country, beat them, didn't rush the field, and they were favored.
yeah, they were favored. Ole Miss was favored in this game. They were 17-1 at home in their last 18 games at home. 17-1.
It shows me like that is the microcosm of like where the program is.
I'll ask another question. Siski, I'm curious. I thought the LSU defense was legit. Walden had been telling me about how good they are. I know they lost today. Ole Miss won the game, but what did you make of that? I thought the LSU defense was pretty awesome, and the fact that Trinidad Chambliss was able to, do enough to beat them was pretty insane to me. What did you make of the LSU defense?
I thought from an Ole Miss perspective, I thought Lane did a really good job at halftime, changed up some things that they did. Look, in the first half, Ole Miss they besides that last drive, and they had the Caden Lee thing where they fumbled, but I thought LSU really kept Ole Miss behind the chains, and some of it was penalty enforced too. Okay, so we can go.
What a ref show that was! Yeah, crazy.
We've already spent 30 minutes on that.
Offense.
But Ole Miss was behind the chains for whatever myriad of reasons in the first half, and I thought they did a better job in the second half staying ahead of the chains and giving themselves options and not becoming two-dimensional. I think that was probably the biggest adjustment from an offensive standpoint, was in the second half staying ahead of the chains and being able to make, keep the playbook open and give them options.
Landmine is one word, by the way. One word on landmine, not two. It is LANDMINE, one word.
Are you throwing out 2-word responses?
Yeah,
I would probably suggest you do it with one word if you want to win. I mean, I may not throw it out, but I just got a hunch.
I have a feeling if I was a fan and I entered this contest, I would be thrown out every single week strictly on grammar.
I had a buddy
that 3rd and 12 throw to Wallace was one elite throw. I'll give Chambliss situation and throw and window. That was one hellacious throw.
When they showed the sky cam, there were it was a great throw on time. There were 3 different defenders that had arms, and he just ball placement was great and timing was great. That was the best throw he made all year.
Help me out on that one. When was that?
It was the 3rd down throw, 3rd and 11 entering the 4th quarter.
I think it was on the touchdown drive, right?
Yeah, it was entering the 4th quarter, wasn't it?
You talking about the ditch on the sidelines? It's 1-on-1?
No. It was the dig. It was the
one
dig.
Over the middle.
It was basically like a dig. I don't know. I feel like the throw was from the 40 to the 25, or maybe the 45 to the 30, something like that.
It was 3rd and 11, Siski, to start the 4th quarter. He threw it over the middle to the receiver. I can't remember. That was a sick throw, though.
All right, I got you.
On that note, I had a buddy that texted me at halftime. Were there 17 penalties called in the first half? Is that true? And that has to be close to a record. That's insane.
Ole Miss had 10.
That is nuts. 17 penalties in a half?
Hang on. I want to confirm this. Let me double. So, are we saying accepted penalties, or are we saying flags thrown?
I don't know about flags thrown. All he said was 17 penalties. I bet the flags thrown might have been more.
There were 6
penalties on that crossing route.
In the first half, there were 16 accepted penalties. 10 for Ole Miss, 6 for LSU. 10 for 69, nice for the Rebels. 6 for 74 for LSU.
So that's like one every 3rd snap, is it not? That's kind of nuts.
Let me get your total plays here.
It was 14:05 to go in the 4th quarter. Ole Miss from the 47 on 3rd and 14. And he fitted in, throwing it, I would say, 15, 17 yards in the air. It was one hell of a throw.
In the first half, Rippy, there were 73 plays run, and then there were 16 accepted penalties.
That is bonkers.
Yeah.
Dude, it felt like it. I mean, my wife, who's, again, very pregnant, wanted to come home, and we're halfway through the 3rd quarter, and it's 5:15 p.m., and she was like, how long is this going to last? I was like, well, quite a while longer. Unfortunately, this is about to be a 4-hour affair. It was kind of nuts how long that game lasted. And the refs didn't make it any better, honestly. That was a ref show for a while.
On your text. Pull it up. I put it in the
of all people, you're going to send me this guy. Now he's going to show up on my freaking For You page. Thanks, Chase.
Well, open it up in an incognito tab or something.
Chase sent me an RG. Chase sends me an RG3 tweet.
It's what I had. Okay,
I've been trying to avoid this guy for freaking a decade.
Just saying.
Oh, I love RG3's content. It's basically like, what do you think? Actually, you're wrong and you're an idiot for it. I love RG3 content.
Yeah, LSU flagged 7 for 78 for the game. Ole Miss 14 for 109.
But only 4 in the second half. We're here to talk about the adjustments that were made. Guys, they played better.
Hey, this
Ole Miss had 28 first downs today.
This did make me think of something though, Chase, because I was going to talk about on the deal when I saw that. Is I will be interesting once we get into SEC play again. You know, after we get back from the landmine that you're trying to that Jeffrey says. I just want to let everybody know Jeffrey thinks that Washington State's going to beat Ole Miss by 40. Yep, but anyway, he is. And they need you may see some protection stuff change a little bit with him, and depending on down and distance, he gets an abnormal number of balls batted down when he has no throwing lanes.
Is that because he's short, Siski?
It's not really because it's where his release point is. Like a quarterback, I don't care if a quarterback's 5'1". Okay, Drew Brees is like wearing a gold jacket, and I know this is crazy. I can eat crackers off the top of his head. He is short. They list him at like 5'10", 5'11". This dude's easily 5'7", 5'8". He is not a tall guy in person, but his freaking release point is up here. And so a quarterback's height is all on his release point. Like Jake Coker, who I had, Jake's like 6'5" and a half, damn near almost 6'6". But he threw the ball from right here. So he's not he's a 6'2", 6'1" and a half, 6'2" quarterback. Chambliss is a 6'1" kid with a lower release point, so he's got about a 5'9", release point. And so when he has clear lanes to throw, and so you'll probably see a little bit more, inside step, just creating, you want to create the throwing lanes and the protections and things like that, and not as much where he's probably going to struggle a little bit is in the RPO game with like inside glances or anything like that, because you're running inside zone, so there's no throwing lanes. And so, or anything short over the middle that's not in true drop back protection. So, that one right there that you just sent me, when they showed the end zone copy, there was, massive throwing lane because the tackle offset, he overset, could see everything. So, but the ones that, if you go back and watch the end zone copy of the ones he got batted, it was all, virtually, half slide or slide protection. And he's throwing right into it and can't get it up over.
Could be a dumb question, but is there a way to change that at this point in his career? Or is what it is? Okay.
No, I mean, I'm 100. Me personally, I'm against changing quarterback mechanics, throwing mechanics. Period. I mean, there's a reason that you're recruiting them, right? I mean, they're arm talented. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's like changing a golf swing. I mean, that's probably the best way to describe it. Is like you can really hinder somebody's development if you're not careful, and you got to be right. You know what I mean? Like you can't. It takes so much time, and you got to it's got to be right. I mean, how many years did Tiger Woods throw off of his great career because he tried to swing change when he was the best golfer that ever lived? I mean, he went through what is like a year and a half, like slump, not slump, but like before he got it back.
He had 3 different swings.
I was asking this on the board earlier today. I'm just kind of curious. I don't know if you saw it, but they were talking about looking around the country today. There's a ton of patting the football from the quarterbacks. You talked about it on the board a good bit as well. Is that taught to some extent, or why is it more prevalent, or is it more prevalent?
It's just freaking. Yep. I mean, not yips. It's just like when people talk and they go, I mean, it's just
a tick. It's a tick.
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Tick. I mean, I don't.
It's like, have you ever tried to throw a baseball without a glove? If you'll notice, like if you ever throw a baseball without a glove, you'll still your hand will still recreate like it is like you have a glove on it.
And the thing about it, you can train it, you can focus it, like at practice and stuff. I mean, you can beat it to death to where you get them out of it. But when the bullets start firing, man, I mean, it's just you revert back every time.
Somebody asking the stream, they're talking about Sam Pittman. He's now 27 and 29 overall, and the buyout drops precipitously if he is under 500 overall. So I don't know if that will dictate anything as the weeks move on, but I saw that today following what was just
That was good,
a
boss.
brutal showing against the Fighting Irish.
You watch it?
No, I didn't see any of it actually.
Today felt like, I know their defense is bad, so it's kind of tough sometimes to determine whether or not a team's quit, because if you have a bad defense, it just always looks like they've quit because they can't stop anyone. But today felt like one of those games where it's like, oh, that might have been his last one, because I think they have a bye week next week.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, we probably could find it. I know it's public record, but so what Chase is, I don't know if you know this or not, Jeffrey, but
it's the under 500 from a certain date, right?
I don't. That's what I don't know. I don't know the cutoff or whatever it is. That's because what I was getting at is, so if he's 500, I don't know if it's 500 or more than 500, but it's 75% of the remaining, and then if it's under 500, it's 50%. I don't know when that. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure today. I'm pretty sure today put him.
I'd take the difference if anybody was wanting to just, I'd take it. I'd take the difference. I mean, look,
remaining schedule. Do they have wins left?
Well, that's the thing, is they're kind of like Florida. They're kind of like LSU. Is they have one side of the football that's really good, and so you're always going to have a puncher's chance if the other side, the other unit doesn't have a good, like the other team, like they're bad on defense. Now they're really bad today. They were on a whole nother level of bad today.
They're 2-3, and here's the remaining: at Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, State.
But like Auburn's been anemic last 2 weeks on
sure,
on offense, right? Like they probably have, because their offense is, and it wasn't today. They stunk it up after the first quarter. But when you have an elite unit, you're going to give yourselves a puncher's chance of winning games you're probably not supposed to, just because of matchups. But like, it's not good though, man. I hate it for saying.
They have 3 wagon of games to end: at LSU, at Texas, Missouri to close.
Yeah, like Texas is an enigma to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think, like, I already know that what I'm playing this week, and I'll be looking at the injury report and see if any of them dudes at Florida decide to continue to sit out. But like, if you don't like the under this week, I mean that if it's got a 4 in front of it on the total, I'm going under.
Siski, who do you think is winning the SEC?
Said Auburn is moving the wheels. They're in motion to fire Hugh.
Oh, who said that?
Grind jumping in the stream today. He's saying in motion.
Siski, who do you think is winning the league? Who do you think is winning the conference?
I think Grind earlier. I get, like, look, it was bad today on all levels. It was bad, but you ain't making a $22.6 million decision after losing 2 road games against 2 top 10 teams by 1 score. That was an emotional decision, not a business decision.
Did y'all grab those plus 250s on Georgia?
I did.
Okay.
I wish they had a better pass rush, because I don't really love Ty Simpson having 5 days back there to find somebody break open and scramble drill. That doesn't
17-14, 133 to go, second quarter. Bama 1st and 10 from the 40-ish.
I'm actually ahead of you this time.
Siski, if you had to bet on it, who do you think is winning the SEC this year?
Brother, I have not the slightest idea. I think there's
same boat. I have no clue.
I know who's not winning it, but I don't know if I can tell you who's winning it. There's just such a fine line, man.
You could talk me into combined losses of the SEC championship game participants being 4.
For sure.
Oh. 2-2.
Or 1-3. Like, you could talk me into a world where somebody separates at 11-1, and then it's.
You think there's a 3-loss team that can go to Atlanta?
I think it's entirely possible with how much. I think all these. I'm telling you, man. I think this thing could be chaotic.
Yeah, I'm with you, but that's a lot of freaking chaos to have the second place team in the SEC at 3 losses. I mean, that would
Again.
be like utter. That would be like, hey guys, we better win this SEC championship game because we may be the only SEC team going to the freaking playoffs. Chaos.
You forget that was in play last year with Texas A&M.
I mean,
Some Auburn post-game shows must have ended. I'm seeing all of our Auburn followers coming into the stream here in the last 5-10 minutes. Good to see you guys.
oh, there. I feel bad. It was bad today. That was. I bet that was a. That wasn't a beer. That wasn't a pour the Diet Miller post game. I imagine that was pour the hard stuff.
That was
was
Hugh. That was Hugh worked with the defense. That was one of those weeks.
Yeah, it didn't really.
Also,
bad. I mean, it wasn't even like
brutal. They have a brutal schedule.
We got a fatalist in the stream. Walker says Ole Miss is going to go 10-2, go to Atlanta, lose, and then miss the playoffs. Their luck.
So, I mean, we don't have. There's no in between. There's no in between. I mean, can't we just? Where's the moderates in the chat? You know what I mean? We're undefeated, 17-0, beating everybody by 60 points. Or I mean, we're going to go to Atlanta, 10-2, 9-2, whatever it is, and losing 64 overtimes by 2-point conversion, and they're going to leave us out.
You
of
want
playoffs.
the guy that just is happy they beat the damn number 4 ranked team in the country, and he's enjoying his whiskey and hanging out and going, you know what?
Great.
Gonna be undefeated, playing Washington State. Gonna kick their ass. We're gonna see where we
Happy
go.
day.
Hey,
Every day.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like
those
life-
people
life
exist,
is
but they're
good.
not on. Those people exist, but they're not online. The online guy's angry. The online guy's looking to get into an argument.
oh yeah.
Or the online guy is either you don't give us enough respect,
Yes.
or it's I'm just thinking of doomsday scenarios.
Well,
I got
what
Auburn
online
fans-
guy is
I got
looking to
Auburn
get on
fans
this
mad.
show and look at Fiskey and spread cheer? The online guy has an agenda. He's pissed. If he's
Yeah, I
logging
got
on,
Alabama.
he's already pissed.
I got the whole league mad at me right now because their team sucks. And Ole Miss people are mad at me just because I'm not a fan.
do we have a good
That's a
slate
special
next
place to
week?
be.
By the way, since we have a bye week, do we have a slate?
We
Hey,
have
I'm glad you brought that up. Can I say something real quick? I'll kid aside. Hey, for all the people, I've got a lot of Mississippi people obviously listen to this show. If you get a chance, come to the Sanderson Farms. Since Ole Miss is on a bye, come to Sanderson Farms. My guy Taylor Moore is playing. I'm going to go down there Thursday and Friday and support him. He comes on our show a good bit. A good friend of mine. He's playing in the Sanderson Farms on this week. So if you get a chance,
Totally agree. Many people are saying it's the 5th major.
Yeah, that's
I've heard that.
Of course. It's
Have you seen the
biggest.
trophy? You win a big cock as a trophy. You win
I
this
do love the
big-ass
trophy. It's
the
seriously
greatest
one of the
trophy
best
in
trophies in
professional
sports.
golf. That trophy is sick.
It's a great trophy.
That's my hometown
it is a
tournament.
great. It's a great
The
trophy, and
is-
it's going to be. It'll also be more interesting than whatever I've been watching this weekend.
Yeah, we're getting smashed, aren't we?
I'm close to like withdrawing. Being
I'm
a
out
US fan.
tomorrow. I'm not watching.
I love my country, and I don't like. I do not like rooting for them. They're the worst. Like if we did a draft of guys you'd want to hang out with, I think we would get through 10 guys before we actually got to a US golfer.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you're onto something. The Europeans are so much more likable.
Oh,
I had to
watch
root for Patrick Cantlay yesterday,
right.
and it sucked ass. And it took 5 hours to root for him. He sucked, and he takes
Watch this
90
play.
seconds over every fucking putt. And I had to root for him because I had no other choice because I stopped caring about Great Britain in 1776. But it doesn't mean I like Cantlay. He sucked.
What are, we
Alabama
watching?
just-
What are we responding to? What are you guys watching?
Tackle eligible.
Alabama just spit out a wide receiver screen to a 360-pound offensive lineman, and he damn near scored.
Uh,
I feel like we're going to need mark that possession down for if this game goes to Alabama.
somebody asking, where does this rank in wins for Kiffin at Ole Miss? I mean, there's an argument it's 2.
I would totally agree with that.
Well,
Is Georgia the biggest? Are we saying Georgia's the biggest?
I don't know. Like, what does that mean? If it's like single day, yes, this is 2. But
Okay, what if you rank the games in stakes? Is it not Georgia 1, maybe Florida 2024 2, or vice versa, and then this one? Which game had more direct stakes?
Georgia had more direct stakes because it was later in the year and you just had to beat Florida and State to make the playoff. Now, you didn't do
No,
it,
of course.
but
That's
on that
one.
day, that was number one.
Okay, and then Florida, the game's probably 2. What's the third one? Is it not this one?
Well, I said wins,
Oh.
not games.
Yeah. I was confused. Like, what's the Florida win? Because I was like, the only one I
Yeah.
remember is last year, and then I remember the Dan
Your
Mullen
other
COVID
argument, if you want to do
No,
this
sorry, I'm
argument,
thinking
again, they
games, win or
didn't
loss.
capitalize. And I get they were going to get the players anyway. I'm not saying that this win did anything to affect the portal, but that win, that Peach Bowl win set an offseason in motion that was a really big offseason.
I was about to say, I know it's a bowl game, and we all kind of agree, like, in general, bowl games have less significance ever. I do think that Penn State bowl game, for whatever reason, that felt like a bigger deal than the average bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking LSU in 23, Georgia in 24, in the Peach Bowl. I think those are the main ones. I mean, I can't think of anything from 21 that would be on that list. I mean, I know the game in Knoxville was really cool and a big win, but it didn't have any national stakes.
There was the LSU Arch Manning Bowl, but, like, wasn't that Ed's last game? Was that Ed's last game, or was that
in 21?
Yeah, remember when they painted Manning in the end zone and Arch was there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was Corral 2021 when they retired Eli's jersey. That's right after Ed got fired, to your point, Jeffrey. He was still the coach, but right after he got fired. Siski, how do you know Taylor Moore?
Randomly through the show. He started following the show on social media, and then about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and then I just DM'd him to see if he wanted to come on the show since he followed the show, and then just became friends through that.
Is he American?
He is. Played at Arkansas.
Okay, I can root for him now. I'm now a Taylor Moore fan.
Edmond, Oklahoma.
I was just making sure he wasn't Canadian or something crazy.
He may be in the chat right now. He watches all the stuff. He just doesn't say anything.
We have pro golfers watching this?
Yeah, Justin Steele comes on our show damn near every day from the Cubs.
Damn, I need some swing tips.
Take 2 weeks off and quit. Especially if your wife's if your wife's 6 months pregnant. Let me tell you what, buddy. You got the retirement tour headed your way.
Yeah,
you're going to be
lucky
to play once a week.
Hey, real quick. I mean, I know we're a football thing. I got a couple more things, and we're just kind of checking out here. I'm waiting on Neil. Element 24, by the way, Georgia 14. The Ryder Cup, though, in all seriousness, like, Europe is absolutely kicking their ass again. It's on the possibility for biggest European win ever. Almost certain, frankly, at this point. And today was look. Some of the European media is ridiculous with the crowd got on them, poor baby thing, but it got really hostile today to where it was affecting the Americans trying to calm it down, and the Europeans didn't even really know how to respond. Like, it created a really strange environment. I don't want to be a creature of the moment with an anomaly, but are we in a weird spot where there could be some sort of change to this system with it being like this?
Why would the Euros care? They're kicking our ass.
Yeah, but it was like so over the top that they were getting kind of weirded out by what the American players were trying to do to stop the crowd. Like, there was nothing fun about today in either capacity. And now, look, the score caused so much of it. I get that. I'm not.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, the PGA of America, it's their biggest moneymaker. Like, they sell literally every possible ticket, every possible can of beer, liquor. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, they had the cops out there and, like, they were trying to toss people, but I mean, like, if you're going to try to make it as big of an event as they do, like, I don't know how, like, what are you actually going to change?
And it's also weird because if you ever talk to any players that go to the other side of the pond to play the British Open or the Scottish Open, the American PGA Tour events are also a lot more secure than the Euro events. Like, remember Bubba Watson a few years ago complained about, like, the Euros get to walk everywhere when they're over there? It's a lot more loose. So, like, we actually run apparently a tighter ship, and then we get our ass kicked, which is really frustrating. But That's a weird complaint from the Euros because they should be used to playing in events where apparently the gallery just walks wherever the hell they want.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they were more like they kept saying hostile, hostile, hostile. I don't know. Like my other thing is like the people that are like sitting there and like ripping Rory, and then Rory like turns around and is like, shut the fuck up, and then he hit it to 3 feet. That was kind of a microcosm of the Ryder Cup for me. It's like we're sitting there acting like we're making some type of impact while he hits it to 3 feet and just kicks our ass.
Yeah.
That should also be encouraged. If I was a spectator at the Ryder Cup, I would want a European player to go tell me to go fuck myself and then hit it to 3 feet. I'd be like, that made my experience. That was worth $1,000 tickets. What I also don't understand is this New York crowd. The idea that this is a bunch of Long Island Guidos. The tickets are like $1,500 a piece. Yeah. People fly in from all over the world. The idea this is a bunch of local New York people is absurd.
The face price might have been, but if you've been following the secondary markets, there have been a lot of, let's just say this, there have been a lot of people that can get in from Staten Island.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I'm not in either tax bracket.
So Daniel says this team better suited with playoffs than last year. The roster isn't better, but this team doesn't seem to get freaked out when they're losing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think last year's team wins most of these games so far this season. It's just not. I can't.
I think it's all relative. I think last year's team was a lot better than this year's team, but I think I would rather have this year's schedule.
Yeah, this year's schedule, and I mean the poise has been great. I mean, I give the coaches and players a ton of credit for. I mean, they were in 2 1-score games. I mean, this is now 3 straight, 3 of 4 weeks that it's 1-score games you've won. I mean, that does mean something. Look, Kentucky was basically a 1-score game for the majority of that game. Arkansas was a 1-score game. They were driving down when the fumble happened, and then today it's 5 points. So no, this team has shown a ton of poise for a turned over roster, a new quarterback, whether either one that you want to call it with being a new quarterback. I mean, it's been very impressive.
I think I'm going to go lose me another unit on Georgia. I trust Kirby's second half adjustments.
Let's do it.
Like I do think Kirby's second. Yeah, I am. I trust Kirby's second half.
So what do you got him at?
So I see plus whatever -3 is -105. I want to see if I can find a live line. I just want to take him to win again.
I got him at plus 230 again.
All right, that's what I would like to get. Live prime. Is this gonna be one of those stupid things where I have to wait again until it kicks off?
I'm in.
What are we doing?
I'm taking Georgia again. Kirby's second half is like a pretty solid formula.
What do you mean? His microphone's on. Okay, you want to come on? This is my dipshit brother.
Yeah, I'm breaking scoops.
Okay, you know what? This is not open mic night, buddy. Anyway. My brother's staying with me this weekend in addition to Weldon.
Who's Vladimir Putin now? Who's Vladimir Putin now?
Oh, come on. Nobody wants that guy on the airwaves. I just saved the FCC.
Brian's not hitting a very high percentage when he brings extra people on. Like, it's not going very well these days.
I'm batting 0.
Just saying.
So far, he called me out in the Grove and goes, "Who was that guy asking you all those questions?" I was like, "His name's Tyler Siskey. He's a real asshole." So guy goes, "Who kept asking the details?"
Yeah, gotta like get the details of a good story. You know what I mean? Gotta have details.
That's why you're a journalist at heart, Siskey. You asked all the right questions, and it got me in trouble. But that's okay. I still love
Barry and Brown was good, but wasn't that impactful today. By the way, we didn't really talk about him. 5 catches, 40 yards for BB.
I called an MUS.
Xavier Thomas and Barry Brown, right? Transfers from State in Kentucky.
I called a high school game with Barry and Brown. You want to talk about a young man that was not fair. Having a bunch of white DBs try to cover him was bullying of the highest order.
So
Yeah,
I just got this
that wasn't
list
fun.
from Media Relations. Ole Miss, as I mentioned, it's their third 5-0 or better start since 2014. Since 2014, though, I'm sorry, before 2014, they had not had a 5-0 or better start since 1963. They went 64-14 without.
Well, yeah, because they used to always just play Alabama the third game of the year.
Played Auburn really early too, and that didn't go well. Yeah, Ole
Some of
Miss's
that
5-0
stuff,
or
like,
better starts 1933, 35, 40, 52, 54, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 2014, 2022, 2025.
I mean, some of this is all scheduled too. I mean, like last year, if they wouldn't have been 4-0 last year, then something went horrifically wrong. Like,
Kenny, I hope you made a great memory. Says, appreciate all you guys. Longtime fan. Hell of a game for my 9-year-old's first LSU game. It's a good day.
oh, we haven't even talked about, is the coolest thing on the planet the B2, the stealth
like that?
bomb. That
like
thing's
that?
awesome.
It was
That's
sick
awesome.
watching him fly over. It was pretty cool.
It's amazing.
I went out.
Freaking
I went
quiet.
outside, saw
That
it.
thing's awesome.
Like I got my son to text me when the national anthem started, and so I went outside my house and watched it come in, and then after it went around, it went way out like towards Batesville and spun around and came back right over my house. It was badass.
And in the stadium, it wasn't that loud. Like, it kind of felt kind of silent, which honestly made it cooler in a weird way. Like, it didn't make a ton of noise. It was just
Well,
like,
you
know,
realize real quick. You realize
know what-
real quick
you know
why
what it's
everybody's scared
called,
of them. You got a 200-yard death machine on top of your head. You never heard it coming. That's probably why people are scared of that sumbitch. You know what I mean? That's probably why.
oh, 100%. I mean, imagine being on land, you get bombed, you don't even hear it coming.
It's
I mean,
literally
you used to be out
called
in
the stealth.
freaking afternoon. I mean, out in the
It doesn't-
desert, resting your stand and just chilling and freaking throwing your thing around your neck and just kicking the soccer ball and then just boom, 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 you know, and just it's all over.
No, that's a good
Hashtag
point.
America.
That'd be a bummer to a Saturday afternoon. If you got bombed, you're gardening, and then all of a sudden you get bombed, that would be a tough way to recover.
Tough day.
Didn't that plane fly for like 26 straight hours or something crazy? That was the whole thing with the stealth bombers, right? It flew for like a ridiculous amount of time.
They flew from Missouri all the way there and then all the way back without stopping.
Yeah,
That
we
is
refueled-
bonkers.
We refueled them in the air.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
This thing called fuel tankers over
Yeah,
the
they
Atlantic.
put them up and yeah.
Okay, that wasn't a dumb question. They're flying hundreds of miles an hour through the air. What do you mean? Like, they filled them while they're flying?
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Rippy,
never
welcome to
watched the
America.
Have you never watched the History Channel?
Like, Rippy,
Every
are
now
you
and again.
Are you college educated?
I'm sorry, I'm the biggest asshole in the world because I asked how you fueled a plane while it's flying hundreds of miles an hour.
I've literally been doing it for like 5 decades.
Hold on. No. I'm more confused by this. Have you ever you've never
Like literally
studied
since
war?
Vietnam, since
Like
Vietnam,
every
maybe
guy
Korea.
I know is like at some point or another has had a period of time where they were obsessed with one of the world wars. Like, have you never had that?
I mean, kinda, but Jeffrey, I'm 5'6" and colorblind. I'm not going to war anytime soon. I didn't need to study up on it, but like,
I'm 5'7", a pussy, so I'm obviously not going to war either. But like, I have been obsessed. Like, I'm very confused. Have you never seen the History Channel? Have you never watched like any military documentaries?
I have. I thought I was pretty well
Hey,
educated. You're telling me they funneled a plane with gas in the air?
Yes, that
Yes.
is true.
Oh my God!
That is
Neil,
actually
were you sorry? Neil's online now. Are you aware that we refilled planes in the air sometimes?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay, yeah, just wondering.
Since Vietnam,
Tyler, I think since World War II.
I'm going.
I'm
I'm
never
going.
logging on to this show again.
Sorry, we've had a moment. Lane was a little late. He's been trolling a good bit on Twitter tonight. Set us up from I guess the end of the game and then through the media gathering this evening. Neil,
I don't know that I'm mentally capable of doing that at this point. Can you're gonna ask me a few questions and I'll get going. I'm sorry. I don't remember all that. It was a really long post game.
Just in general, Lane, post game, what kind of happened? Take me through it a little bit.
I mean, there were tons of people in there. It was really long for Lane's. It took him a while to get there, and then it was a pretty long post game, probably about twice as long as they usually are. Probably will be one of those days where tomorrow on the Zoom call will be a lot better than tonight, because I think he had a lot. I think he was still trying to kind of process different plays. I was building my column around Chambliss threw the interception. LSU went down and scored the field goal, made it 17-13. And I thought that next drive, 11 plays, 75 yards, there was 2 different holding calls that backed them up twice. I thought that was the football game. And in many ways, I kind of thought that was the difference between last year's team and this year's team, because I think last year's team loses this game tonight. I think this team is, while it's not as talented, I think it's more resilient. I always feel weird using that word, Chase, resilient, because that was the name of your book, and so I always feel like we're going down that road again, so I'll look for another name. But this team's a little tougher mentally. Now they can run the ball, and that's a big difference. They're better up front. They can run the ball. But I thought that drive was really, really big, because otherwise I think that game gets away from them, because sure enough, LSU drove down, got the touchdown. Nussmeier kind of made some throws for the first time all night, really, and then Ole Miss, ran the clock out on the ground, which they would not have been able to do a year ago. My opinion. Lane kind of agreed. We talked to Keywan Lacey. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We wanted to talk to Keywan, but we didn't. We talked to Wydett Williams, Caden Lee, and Trinidad Chambliss.
Mentioned Trinidad. We were talking about, and I told Jeffrey right at the very start of the show that I thought it was an odd way to describe it, because you had so many penalties in the red zone turnover. But I thought offensively they showed a good bit of poise in that first half, because everything was starting so bad. They had all that stuff go on, and yet they kind of recovered. And to get a lead like that and settle into the game, when I've seen a lot of teams that might have spiraled just because of the way that thing started, getting down 7-0 and sputtering, and sort of the way it all began.
Yeah, I mean, LSU's really good on defense, and they had a couple of 3-and-outs to start the game, and then they kind of got going. I think they, then they had another key moment was Caden had the turnover where he just got popped, and fumbled. Big time players make big time plays, and Halsey made a play, and then they still came back and finished the half strong. Two scoring drives, 2 touchdown drives to finish the first half was critical, because it put LSU sort of behind the 8 ball for the whole second half, and yet I still come back to that drive that I wrote about, because I think that's where the game was decided. I really do. LSU had gotten a couple of field goals. They'd created a turnover, kind of had some momentum. This team's, I think you've talked about this, Chase. I think we have to recalibrate how we look at college football. You guys have seen a lot more football today than I have. But, I don't know that there are any, quote, great teams. And so I think when we judge like this team, for example, against, previous iterations of college football teams, I think it's easy to say, well, this team's not as good as that team and that team and that team. I don't know that you have to be. I don't know that anybody is. I think it's different now. This is more of an NFL model. There's more parity. I thought it said a lot about this team that they won this game tonight. I really do.
No chance of storming the field. Everybody behaved and all that stuff there toward the end. I mean, the end of the game, pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah, nobody stormed the field. Lane made a point. I mean, obviously there's an emphasis on not storming the field now, but Lane made the point that a year ago LSU beat Ole Miss in overtime down there, and they stormed the field, and LSU was 4th in the country, and Ole Miss wins the game and didn't storm the field. I think there's a kind of an expectation now that's been developed. And I mean, look, this program's really, really good. I mean, they're 26-5 in their last 31 now. They're 5-0. They're going to move into the top 10 tomorrow. I think they have a
17
very
and
clear
1 at home in their last 18.
Yeah, I think they have a very clear path to the college football playoff. I wrote about it tonight. I don't know what you guys have talked about. I'm sure you've talked about it. I mean, at this point, I think if this team doesn't make the playoff, it's probably one of two things. Either they had a really disappointing landmine of a loss, or somehow the way that the landscape played out, 10-2 wasn't enough. At which point I'll take a week off, Chase, and I'll just let you handle the board that week.
Neil, congratulations, by the way. We set the Realtree word of the week with landmine, and you pulled it off without even knowing there.
Oh, yeah. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, because Siski over there said Washington State's a landmine in 2 weeks, so we were trying to.
No, he did not. No, he did not.
He most certainly did. He said like they need to watch out because they're on upset alert.
I thought you
Washington
set the
State's
premise
winning
of this
tonight.
up.
They were beating up Colorado State pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously, I actually was thinking about this.
Neil, a serious question. Neil, did Lane get asked about what he does at quarterback in 2 weeks? Was that asked tonight?
Yeah, Heather Dinich of who's Heather with ESPN?
I think it's ESPN.
She asked. Yeah, and he said, that was something it was a decision he didn't have to make right now, and so there was no reason to make it right now. Repeated what he said all along about, Austin's been great, trying to get better and trying to get healthy, and that they have two really good quarterbacks, and that in today's college football, that's a blessing, and that was, they didn't play next week, and that wasn't something that he had to determine right now, which I think it's a fair answer. I mean, I think we all know at this point, Chambliss is going to play. But, you would be a fool, and he's no fool. You would be a fool to, take away any incentive from Austin Simmons to get better because, look, Chambliss could get hurt, and you need Simmons to come back in and win games. I mean, he appears to be made of flesh and blood just like Austin. So, I mean, there's no guarantee that you're not going to need another quarterback down the road. So, like most things, I think he's handled this probably about as well as you can handle it from a messaging standpoint. Lane, that is.
A couple different things here, and we've been over 2 hours now. Big Dan T, thanks for super chat. Says, Neil, is it starting to feel different at the program level, the power to withstand self-inflicted injuries, clock management, etc., the next step of the program to win those kind of games when you don't play completely clean?
Yeah, I guess so. I hadn't really thought about it like that. I mean, they're just really good. It's a really strong program. I mean, just the numbers bear that out. I mean, there's only one thing left. I mean, there's two things left for them to do. One is to make the SEC championship game, which is not as significant as it used to be, but it's still an accomplishment that the program hasn't achieved. And the other is to make the playoff. They're in the same boat as every other highly competitive SEC program right now. The goal is to make the playoffs, and they're in great shape to do it as of this moment.
Did they give any indication on? Go ahead, Jeffrey, and I'll ask that last question.
Neil, I wanted to get your thoughts on this because my eyes tell me like, hey, the roster is not as good as last year, but I agree with everything you said. It's not, you're not having to play last year's team. You play this year's schedule and whatnot. Do you think we're overlooking the fact that this team can actually run the football when we think about their ceiling?
No, I kind of was just talking about that. I mean, their ability to run the clock out in the last 5 minutes and 4 seconds. I think LSU scored with 5:04 to go and went for two and didn't get it and never got the ball back. Had a timeout, had the 2-minute timeout, and even with the mistake of Chambliss running out of bounds, which was, an unforced error there that gave LSU 40 seconds potentially. I think they're better up front than we gave them credit for because week one, they weren't great up front in some spots. You know, we saw the interceptions. Two of the 4 interceptions were offensive line fault. They've done a much better job of protecting. I mean, even tonight when Chambliss wasn't moving around, he was protected. You know, Lacey's a terrific back, man. I mean, his ability in pass pro and catching the ball out of the backfield, and you know, I thought Diggs looked a little better tonight. I'm sure he had some juice going against LSU, but I think maybe he's starting to feel a little bit better running the football. I mean, it was a pretty significant knee injury that he had, so and with Chambliss, he's a weapon running the ball. He's elusive and you can do quarterback design runs with him. I think you can do it with Simmons too, but not as efficiently as you can with Trinidad. And then this is 2 weeks in a row, man. Defense has been pretty locked in. I mean, when you hold an SEC opponent to 254 yards of offense, you did something.
Did Ole Miss give any indication of the health of Principal Amon Mielen after the game?
No, it didn't come up. I mean, he obviously didn't return after he left the game. So, I mean, it's something, but I assume if we have a Zoom with Lane tomorrow, that'll be asked. It was kind of those press conferences when you have all the people in there and you're getting like laughter and almost cheering and stuff. It's just such an odd setting. And then you get people that feel like because there's all those people are in there that they have to ask a question. And so it just turns into kind of a not chaos. That's not the right word. It just turns into a very awkward press setting.
Yeah. We got the rest of the night from a game standpoint, just starting the second half in Athens, where it is 24-14 Alabama. And Alabama has the ball here starting the second half. What?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 24-14 tied at the moment there in
Also,
in
did you
Athens.
see what happened in Happy Valley?
Yeah, that's what I was just
No, what's going on there? I don't know anything.
So these two games kicked off at the same time, and the Oregon-Penn State game is going to finish in maybe 40 minutes, and the Alabama game's just starting the second half. But just a massive turnover. Like Oregon had first and goal at the 7, maybe. Massive turnover, and now Penn State's got the ball in plus territory.
Who's winning that game?
It's 3-3. Tyler has the over.
No, I do not.
Yeah, 3-3. Drew Aller threw for 45 yards in the first half. He was excellent.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Yep, he was cooking.
Yeah, couldn't have used Trey Wallace. No way, not a chance.
Well, they didn't have any receivers.
Yeah,
Don't you
Tennessee beat State in overtime. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Okay.
We got down. We were waiting for Lane, and I pulled that game up on my. I was an idiot, Chase. I went down to the field with about 6 minutes left, and I forgot my readers.
Oh.
And so I couldn't see, which was fun to write when you can't see what you're writing. And I'm sure if I make a mistake, no one will say anything on the board. None of the 10 people who hate us will say a word.
No, they're in a good mood, I'm sure. Yeah, no way. No, not a chance. So
not a chance. So but yeah, I got to see the end of that. I mean, I think we talked about this on McCready and Siskey some too. I mean, State's a lot better than they're getting credit for. I mean, frankly, of like the games that are left, the one that is the potential landmine a little that scares you some is State, just because they'll have nothing to lose, and that's a really good offense, and Jeff's a really good coach. The reason I would really like Ole Miss in that game if they played today is because of what Jeffrey just said. It's Ole Miss's ability to run the football.
yeah.
That negates some of that.
So landmine is your word. Again, realtree.com. Email it to me. It's chase.parham@gmail.com. That's how we should do that. Appreciate Realtree. Again, go head over to the website, realtree.com. Lifestyle, hunting gear, and plenty more. We're at the 2:15 marks. We'll wrap it there. Let Neil get the hell out of the press box after a while. Still got a ton of people on, so I appreciate all of you guys. No show next week, off week. then Washington State in a couple weeks. The Rebels assuredly will move to 6-0 and then have one hell of a back-to-back road trip situation in Athens and in Norman. So Jeffrey Wright, Tyler Siskey, Brian Rippey, appreciate their time as always, including Neil joining us there at the end. Congratulations to all you guys listening. 24-19, Ole Miss over LSU. 5-0 for the Rebels. Third time since 2014. Rebels247.com for all your content. And we'll be back with another show on Monday. Take care.